The Mariners dropped that finale of a 4-game series to the Rangers yesterday in a 7-3 loss. They've got 3 more on the road before coming home, so there's a chance to get a winning road trip. Unfortunately, it'll require a sweep of the Dodgers. Anything's possible, right? Shohei Ohtani suffered a recent setback in his return to the rotation, so the Mariners won't be facing him on the mound. Luis Castillo, Emerson Hancock, and Bryce Miller will be starters for Seattle over the next 3 days. As a heads up, each of these 3 games will start at 7:10 p.m. with a 6 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
We've been talking about how the Mariners can better their roster ahead of the August 3rd trade deadline, and there's still a lot to explore here. But do the Mariners need bigger changes than just making a couple trades? That was a question explored this morning on Brock and Salk when Jeff Passan joined. I don't know if you guys heard the interview. We've got cuts. It was a fantastic listen, and it's getting a lot of reaction already from a lot of people talking about, well, what's really the problem? Is the problem with the Mariners that Matt Brash isn't out there and their leadoff hitter's been gone since May? Is that the problem? Is the problem that Cal Raleigh looks like a shell of himself compared to last season? Is that your problem? It's certainly a big issue. Is your problem managing? Is it your philosophy? Is it chemistry? What are the big answers here as to what's really hurting the Mariners? Because there could be some things here that just a trade isn't going to solve Bump. So let's dive into this interview with Jeff Passan. First, we'll start with where the Mariners are. Cut 1, this was Jeff summing up how the Mariners feel.
It's incredible how I can say what I said a week ago, watch this team play, and come away with a completely different perspective. Because let's just say we were to completely Men in Black brain zap everybody and show them a game played by the Seattle Mariners. Looking at them, you would say this is like a 75-win team. They just look absolutely terrible right now.
He's right. Bumpy's right. They do not look like a team that has the talent that they do. And if you're someone that goes, I never really thought they'd be good, then why are you angry at all? You are angry. And that's because a lot of people thought they'd be better given their talent.
Yeah, I've learned. I was excited about this team to enter the season, but I've learned over the years to kind of just taper that excitement a little bit because it's a long season. You got to figure out how some things are going to turn out. Are you going to be lucky when it comes to health? What's his rotation going to look like? Can Julio finally have a fast start to his season? We're waiting to see what Cal's going to look like following his best season of his career. Can Josh Naylor still bring that joy and that passion? What's Randy going to look like? I was excited because of the potential of the team, but I've learned over the years to kind of wait for it and see what happens. So now I take this team for who they are right now. They're not the team that a lot of people, the experts, thought that they were going to be. Just when it comes to the AL, all right, just in July, or just overall in the AL, they're second worst in the league when it comes to average, third in on-base percentage, third worst, second worst when it comes to slugging, third worst when it comes to OPS. Look at pitching. Had the 4th best ERA, 8th best on base percentage, and 2nd best when it comes to whip. And it looks like over the past, I guess, several games, like the pitching is finally feeling that stress. I mean, we've seen them go through it before, right?
Yeah.
We tried the piggyback, we tried the 6-man, the bullpen has been stretched thin, but this is the first time where I'm looking at the arms and saying, these dudes are tired. They're like, look, we've imagined operating under the stress every single day that if you don't go out there and hold them to 2 to 3 runs, you're probably not going to win this ball game. And as an athlete, you accept that pressure, you like that pressure, but it still does something to you. Right now, you're not throwing as freely as you typically do. So I kind of feel bad for the pitching right now because they've held this team in there as long as they can, and they're looking at the back of the bus saying, all right, guys, up to the front now. You guys got to come help, and they're just not doing it. So now my attention has shifted as well. Because I always put it on the players. I've been a player. You got to go out there. If you got to execute, you got to do your thing. This is the first time where I'm like, okay, Dan, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to say? What are you going to do to get these guys going? Because obviously them being on their own and going out there and doing their thing just isn't working right now. They have the talent to maybe turn this thing around. But this is the first time of the season where I'm looking at Dan and say, all right, it's your turn now. You got to do something to get these guys going.
I think the same thing. I'm not so ignorant to think that Dan has been the only thing with this team, or that questions about his fit as a manager is the only question facing the team. If Cal Raleigh hasn't cratered, we're probably not having this conversation. Mm-hmm. If Cal Raleigh and Josh Naylor play anything like they did last year, and Naylor's average has ticked up, so I'll say that. But if they play anything like they are last year, we're not talking about this at all. Mariners are 5+ games up in a bad division, and we're not having this conversation. But we are having this conversation, and is what changes it for this team and what gets them to the postseason, because that has to be your expectation. I'm sorry, you've never made it to a World Series. It would be pathetic to say anything other than your goal is still very much to get to the postseason and to win a World Series this year. It's been incredibly underwhelming, incredibly frustrating, but that has to remain your goal. And anything other than that is an absolute failure.
Yep.
So if that remains your goal, well, then what do? Do you acquire someone? If you're doing that, do you deal someone? What happens? Jeff Passan, let's go to cut 2. He talks about a possible change for the Mariners.
We are approaching the 2/3 mark of this season, guys. It's going to happen tonight. The 108th game will be played. And the Seattle Mariners are going to be under 500 with essentially a neutral run differential. And how they wound up here, to me, speaks to something a little bit deeper. And sometimes you reach a point with a group of players where things need, like, you got to change it up. You got to change up the mix in there. And I almost wonder if it's a matter of changing up the mix, because I'm not sure that they're going to change up the thing that they really should, which is the manager.
Let's go to cut 8 here, Ian, please, adding on this one.
I think it's very simple. If Dan Wilson weren't one of the best players in franchise history, he would not be manager anymore. I think it's simple as that. There's politics that are going on here, and it's always like when you hire somebody like him, it's the same. I think the comparable is Buster Posey as president of baseball operations with the Giants. If things don't go right, it's going to be harder to get rid of that person to whom the franchise owes a debt because of his service in the past.
Now, 2 things are true here, Bump. First, I think the players really like Dan. I think that players were, based on my understanding, probably a little more unhappy, or that there were people that didn't like service in a way that doesn't exist with Dan, that Dan is very well liked, has a good relationship with a lot of players. I also think Jeff's right, that Dan's history with this team and his weight with this team and his legacy with the Mariners is such that that's probably the single biggest reason that the Mariners haven't made any move. That and his cachet in the clubhouse, that there is still, this hasn't been a clubhouse that's turned on him, for instance. You're probably going to upset people if you move on from Dan. But Dan Wilson has struggled as your manager. And it's one thing to have, a fan who's angry, and I'm not taking away the validity of what they're saying, but a fan who's angry. It's another thing to have Jeff Passan with no rooting interest in your team. He's not a fan. There's no emotion tied to this. A very smart, well-connected person from the outside looking in, one of the most respected names in baseball, they probably should make a move there. Now, he says that he doesn't think they will, and so what now is kind of where I'm eventually taking this conversation, but, hearing that is shocking.
Nah, they're not making a move.
They're not making a move.
The moves need to be made elsewhere, but at the end of the day, whether whoever's in this clubhouse come August 3rd, it's still going to come down to the same guys you relied on to start the season. Cal, Julio, Josh, Randy, sprinkle in some Dom and some Young and some Luke in there as well. It's always going to come down to those guys, because you can add to the bullpen, you can add a righty bat, you can do all that stuff, but that's not going to be enough to get these guys over the hump. I'm going to go throw Dan in there. I'm going to throw Justin in there and DePoto in there. It's all going to come down to the guys who have been here throughout the duration of this season. How do you do it? Like how do you get guys to tap into the flow state and get things going? It's so in all of sports, it's so hard to do that in baseball. It is so hard to do it because I'm having a bad day. on a football field, you know what I can do? I can block hard and let my running back go to work. I can run down on special teams and make a tackle. I can field a punt and get jiggy with it and make something go down. In baseball, it's just you. It's you and the pitchers on the mound. And the other things they can clean up, obviously the base running and fielding and all that good stuff. So it's a tough place to be in because Dan has to be true to who he is, right? You can't all of a sudden be this raw, super enthusiastic guy because that's just not who you are. And players are going to sniff that out, and it's not going to be authentic, and things are going to get weird. So you have to do it in a way that is authentic to you. End of the day, guys on the field got to perform, and they've shift the lineup a bit. They tried some different things. They tried a 6-man. They've tried to piggyback. I felt like they've almost exhausted all their options. Cole Young batting first now. He was batting last, to start the season. You move JP, right? You had Colts at third. Now you got Colts at short. You got JP at third. Now, they've tried a whole bunch of different things. Some they were forced to do out of injuries, but they still tried to do a whole bunch of things, and nothing has happened yet. So what's the last resort is you're looking at that trade deadline and saying, okay, what can you do there? End of the day, the dudes who are there just got to do better. Everybody from upstairs to the skip, to the assistant coaches, to the players, just everyone has to do better. How do you tap into something to bring it out of these guys?
And you have to because, again, Jeff Passan says it. In fact, let's see, cut 7. Let's take a listen to this.
We've seen managerial changes in late seasons work. We've seen it work in Seattle. So why this is off the table, I don't quite get.
But your impression is it is off the table.
I have not gotten any sense that it is a realistic possibility that Dan Wilson is fired at this point. Yes.
Worth mentioning. Worth mentioning that Jeff says, and again, I want to preface this. This is not Jeff saying Dan Wilson is your single biggest nor your only issue. That's not what Jeff is saying. I take it as Jeff on the outside looking in, basically saying, look, if this was another team where this was just a dude that wasn't like a beloved person here, he'd be gone. I'm sure Jeff bluntly would say he's covered a million teams where by now a team that had underperformed to this level and it had been so lifeless offensively, that manager, whether or not guys loved him or he was the biggest problem or whatever, it's never really the man. When you have a team that underperforms like this, it's not only the manager. No. Dan Wilson isn't out there swinging and missing at everything. No. But that 9 times out of 10, that guy's fired. With any other team. We've seen it already this year. We've seen it with other organizations. So I think that what this interview is Jeff Passan saying, it's interesting. I'm having a hard time pinning down what the issue is. The thing is, when you have a team that underperforms, there's a million different issues. I do wonder if one of them is manager, but we're not going to find out because I get no sense whatsoever that the Mariners are going to fire Dan this year. Okay, that's where the interview landed. So before anyone says Jeff's blaming Dan, I don't think he is. He's just saying, it's interesting. I don't see that happening this year, even though I do wonder if that's part of the problem. So, Bump, you've pointed to players. You've said, I've been a player. Ultimately, you got to execute. When you go out there and you're swinging the bat, Dan's not out there telling you what to do. That's on you at that point. So, if these players are going to improve and keep Dan's job security at hand, what do they need to do?
Show up. I mean, if you really love this dude, right? If you really care for this guy, and everyone that we've spoken to, they make it clear, like, these players are fond of Dan. You got to play for him at this point. You're playing for yourselves, obviously. You're playing for the playoffs. But in a professional setting, these guys know how it goes. A lot of these guys have been in the league over 5 years, 6 years. You've seen the changes. You know how this business works. They're not walking around oblivious thinking that everyone's job is safe and it's all ice cream and butterflies. They know the deal. It's got to be from within. A leader needs to step up and give that sense of urgency. And who knows, they probably have already had those speeches. They've probably already done it. That was the most disappointing part for me is that I say going into this Rangers series, I go, this is their chance to show that they can step up, be in the moment, take first place, right out of Texas, and say we did that. And they just didn't do it, and they looked horrible doing it, man, from the pitching to the bats. I mean, we got young guys performing at a high level, and these veterans aren't. It was just disappointing to see that because it seems like – I know they care. I will never say they don't care, but they just weren't able to do it when that was the most important series of the year so far, right? And in as close to a playoff situation as you can get, they look like you know what. You know, and that's the most disappointing. And now you got to take on the Dane Dodgers, man. Like, come on. It's just the vibes cannot be good on that plane, on that bus, in that clubhouse, in the dugout. It's all bad.
Well, and I think that's when people start to wonder about Dan. Dan very clearly is a very down-to-earth, chill person, a kind person who has his players' backs, does not throw anyone under the bus, a very nice, kind guy. And I think that some of the frustration that people have or the fear they have is at a time when you need to light a fire for this team and to have a temperament that's a little more aggressive and a little more honest and a little more blunt and tough, to have that tough leadership we've talked about. Is Dan the guy to do that? I think that's what people really worry about. I don't know a single fan that doesn't think that Cal or Naylor or kind of a banged-up Julio that's in and out of the lineup isn't an issue. I don't know a single person that goes, oh, wow, you know, this team's perfect. If only Dan could figure it out. I don't know a single person that doesn't see the execution problems with this team.
Right.
But is there someone that can have the tough leadership necessary to be very honest with this club about where they are and to check a lot of egos at the door while they figure out how to turn this thing around?
Is there? It's got to be Dan. It has to be Dan. You can have assistants, and they help you out and reiterate and back you up and all that stuff. End of the day, he's the guy. He's got to do it, but he has to do it in his way.
Yeah. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number one, George Kirby gave up 4 home runs in the Mariners' 7-3 loss to the Rangers yesterday. What's the real headline?
We feel comfortable trading a Mariners starter? I know they've got a 6-man rotation, but I don't know that they've got 6 great starters right now. And now Kirby was just really good, had one of his better outings. He has dominated the Rangers. It was a tough day for him. Tough day for Wu also prior to Kirby being out there. Just bad series for your starters.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to get the most value. I know it doesn't seem ideal, right? You understand that's the strength of this team. But if you want to get better, you have to give up some goods. And a starter would be exactly that. It's easy to react after seeing Kirby and be like, oh, man, maybe he should be the one on the trading block, not just Hancock. I think you got to explore everything. But I'm in a place with this team right now to where I want to sit back and just see what they do. Sink or swim. What's the management going to do? What is your approach? You're doing way more research than I'm doing. You got scouts, data, all this good stuff. How are you going to go 3 for 3 at the trade deadline, right? The last 2 years, you've done great. You did your thing. All right, can you go 3 for 3? And if they're able to do that and help turn this thing around, the guys in the clubhouse still need to do it, then you have a chance because you're not out. It just doesn't feel good. You're not out. You can still accomplish all these things. Just the way that they're playing makes you feel like they're on the decline for sure.
Well, and you are with the benefit of your division. I know people are so tired of hearing that, and I would hope that the Mariners don't think that they're going to be able to walk away with the division. You've now got to dig yourself out of a hole, but no other team in baseball has hurt their playoff odds more than the Mariners over the last 30 days. They have affected those by negative 43%, I want to say, down from where it was. That being said, their odds of making the postseason and of winning the division are still over 40%. Look at the Marlins, who hurt their playoff odds comparatively less, a 30-ish% dent in their playoff odds. Their odds to make the postseason are 12% because of the division in the league that they're playing in. So the Mariners hurt themselves more and have a greater chance of making the postseason compared to other teams that have floundered and struggled because they're in the AL West. But you also need to kick it into high gear here. You need to do something. I've kind of given up on thinking Cal's going to fix himself, but I don't know. Can Julio start to turn it on? Can Naylor continue to tick up that average and come up big in those moments? Can they acquire offense at the deadline that jolts this team? I don't know. We'll see.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Bucks and Baker Mayfield have reportedly not made significant progress on a new contract. What's the real headline?
A story on the other side of the country is actually good news for John Schneider.
Why?
Well, because Baker Mayfield's deal is going to directly affect what Sam Darnold's able to get.
Thought that was your angle. Okay, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
It's Baker, hold out as long as you can, make a team-friendly deal. But Baker, Baker's looking for that money, man. He's looking for that money. But I think that if I'm just going off of personalities of the two, I don't think Sam's going to sit here and give the extreme home discount, but I also think that he's not going to try to break the bank already. I mean, he's made a good amount of money. Baker, on the other hand, is like, nah, I'm going to get mine. So, no, it should be interesting. But I think that end of the day, the negotiations will go a lot smoother with Sam than it's going to go with Baker.
Yes, and honestly, I think Baker could have shown up with a new deal, and I don't know that Sam and his agent would have immediately knocked on John's door and gone like, hey, I'm actually also not showing up until I get something done. I feel like just Sam recognizes where he's at and the opportunity he has ahead of him.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the Seahawks are waiving running back Kenny McIntosh. What's the real headline?
It always felt weird paying a Mac with Microsoft money.
That's pretty good.
We are going to talk about this a little more coming up in less than 10 minutes, Bump, but I was a little surprised to see this. I know Kenny McIntosh was coming off of a torn ACL, didn't play at all last year, but he had kind of been that fan favorite, and this is something that's more obvious to us, you and I and other hosts, because we see the text line and listeners don't. But Kenny McIntosh is one of those guys, like John Ursua was. Robbie Oots has been that guy. Obviously, he's out there. But, there are just certain guys that we get so many questions about, and it doesn't always make sense. But he was one of them.
Because he's one of the unknowns. Like, you flash a little bit, and people start to pay attention, and then you tap into their curiosity. And I think that's what it is for guys like that, like John Ursua, like Kenny McIntosh, is that you see the ability, so it makes you wonder, why isn't he getting more opportunity? Obviously with McIntosh, because he tore his ACL last year, but before that, what kept him off the field? So I'm interested to see where he lands, and if he does get an opportunity, I want to see what he does, because he has ability, man. You see him run, he can catch the rock. My man is nice. So it raises a lot of questions about that running back room.
Now, I said that we're going to continue talking about the running back room, but as a heads up, our interviews are going to be on the defensive side of things. We got DeMarcus Lawrence joining us at noon. Can't wait to, or excuse me, not at noon, at 11. Can't wait to ask him about, hey, how close were you to retiring? Why didn't you? How close were you to making that decision and calling it a day? And then coming up at noon, Dante Fowler Jr., the newest Seahawk, is going to join us. So looking forward to both of those interviews. And coming up next, let's get back to that conversation. Is the Seahawks running back room starting to take shape?
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net. Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
I'm Sam, owner of Marino's Landscape. With my Chase Ink Business Premier Card, I earn unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything I buy to run my landscaping business gives me cash back to help throw a big thank you party for my team. For all they do.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump and I live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center ahead of Seahawks training camp. We're going to be going to the defensive side of things for some of our interviews later today. Coming up in about 30 minutes, DeMarcus Lawrence joins us to talk about why he decided not to retire this offseason. Could have ridden off into the sunset, chose not to. Coming up at noon, new Seahawk Dante Fowler Jr. And even though we're looking at the defensive side of things for those conversations, Bump, I wanted to talk to you about offense, in particular at the running back room. News yesterday afternoon from ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Seahawks are waiving running back Kenny McIntosh. Now, I don't know that Kenny McIntosh was the answer in that running back room for kind of like who's going to replace Ken Walker. But, Bump, as you know, He was a name that was part of that conversation. I mean, there's no set answer. There's a lot of inexperience in that room. Nothing but intrigue right now. And he was one of those guys. Now he's not.
Kenny McIntosh was here, McDonald's first year, played in about 173 plays, played in every game, but mostly in special teams. And then he gets banged up. So it's not like this decision was made just off of an off season, right? You had time to coach him, to be in the film room with him, to see him on the football field, and you wait until he gets healthy and you decide to let him go. So that tells me that they're confident in their decision. One, I think every decision that John and Mike McDonald make, they're confident. But also tells me that they may just like what they have in the running back room right now as it stands. It also tells me that Zach Charbonnet is trending in the right direction, which everyone knows by now, right? Reports have been out there about him, and they like where he's going. That doesn't mean they're not going to bring in another running back to compete. Maybe just we call them camp bodies. You know, you come into camp, you see what happens. Maybe make the team, maybe you don't. But they're looking at the running back room, and they're saying, look, we have a number one back potentially in Jadarian Price, we're hoping he is. We have a bruiser with Emmanuel. We have a scat back guy who can get out the backfield and catch a football in Halani. We pretty much have what we want, so let's make room for someone else at a different position or at the same position. It's unfortunate, man, because I thought Kenny McIntosh would be able to contribute at a high level with this team. But I think we've all learned over the past couple of seasons to kind of trust what John and Mike McDonald are doing.
You and I are going to get a chance to get a closer look at Jadarian Price this week. Yesterday I asked you kind of like, hey, what are we watching for here? I'm a little more curious today about, like, what's his role supposed to be? I mean, last year you had a great running back duo with Zach Charbonnet being great in the red zone, getting up, 12 touchdowns, something like that over the course of the regular season. Ken Walker racking up yards between the 20s. Do you think there's going to be a same kind of role, or is Jadarian fighting for that primary back spot in this offense? Halani getting a lot of shots with the ones.
You don't draft a guy with your first pick in the first round and he don't see the field and he don't touch that ball, especially at running back after you're losing K9. I expected it. It's going the way I expected. I expected Halani to get in here and get first-team reps. Why? He's been here. He knows the system. There's less teaching. It allows Jadarian to sit back and kind of watch and learn how to be a pro and see how George Halani approaches this whole thing. But at the end of the day, you're not drafted in the first round to sit and learn at that position. The other positions, maybe a quarterback, a late draft quarterback, you want to sit back and he can learn from the guy in front of him. But at running back, the most natural position in football, you want him to be the guy. K9 is with the Chiefs. That's why you drafted him where you drafted him. So eventually, I expect him to be that guy.
I know kind of like what I'm really intrigued with when it comes to this running back room. I wanted to ask you specifically about the kind of roles and who's going to do what here. What kind of running back is Jadarian?
He's a do-it-all. I mean, he's a guy who has the big playability. With Notre Dame last year, he had runs of over 30, over 50. He showed his top speed ability with some kickoff returns. He can receive the football out the backfield. The only knock with Jadarian would be ball security. He has to put the football down on the ground a little bit. But he's what the new age running back is. You got to be able to do everything if you want to be a true number one running back. Run in between the tackles, he can do it. Run outside the tackles with some speed, he can do it. Pass pro, we'll see if he can do it. Receive the football, we'll see if he can do that as well. I know he's a do-it-all type of back, but thankfully he's got some guys in that room with him that can take some pressure off him. But when it's all said and done, he's got to be that guy.
And Halani, kind of like, I just assume, like, what if he's that kind of, like, filling in for Zach Charbonnet, but they're different running backs too.
Yeah, Halani is – there's no running back on the roster right now that resembles another one. There are things that they all can do, but Halani is more of the shifty type of guy. You have Emmanuel, who's the downhill type of guy, and you have Price, who's probably the more complete type of guy. Halani is also better in pass pro. We saw him in the playoffs be thrown in there and in passing situations. So you got three different kind of backs. I think that's the best approach when it comes to running backs. Keep the defense guessing. But again, man, Jadarian has to be the guy, and I think he will be. He'll have every opportunity to be that guy.
Well, he kind of has no choice but to be that guy, because when there are people pointing to, questions that they have about this team, especially when it comes to comparing it with the Rams, I don't really get upset with anyone for saying they have question marks about the running back room. Like, that's something where I go, yeah, I get it. I completely understand. Now, granted, I find it interesting that there's no that Seattle, from like a national kind of critical perspective, isn't being given room for improvement there, only room for regression. I think that's, a little unfair. There's a world where this running back room's even better than it was last year. There's a lot to be answered there. I mean, Ashton Genty, Curtis might have to correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Ashton Genty led all rookie running backs last year. He didn't have quite 1,000, but had 900 something. Yeah, 974. Yeah. I don't know that Jadar. I mean, those are two very different running backs.
Yeah, I mean.
So I get the criticism of the room. Yeah. I also want to leave open room for you, especially to tell us if there's a higher ceiling than we're giving them credit for.
I'm not going to say they're going to be better. I'm not, because K9's not in that room. Jadarian's never taken a snap in the NFL. I mean, we were comparing him to Genty, right? Genty was playing behind a whack offensive line, though, so give him some grace when it comes to that. But no, I'm not. There's no way I can sit here and say this room is going to be better than last year. Could they? Maybe. Would I put my money on it? Nah, not quite. I still got to see this all go down. There's no Zach Charbonnet until, week 4 or 5. You had a great balance. You had K9, you had Charbonnet, you sprinkle in Halani, right? There's no Charbonnet, there's no K9. Now you're dependent on a rookie and a couple backups. Could they ball out? Yeah. Could I see him doing it? Yeah. But when you lose K9 and those Charbonnet, I can't sit here and say I expect them to be better than last year.
Is that why you point so much to Robbie Oots, going like, hey, here's one piece that you didn't really have in full action last year? He was a rookie. He was still figuring it out. He was dealing with, if I remember correctly, some injuries off and on. But here's an opportunity where it doesn't have to be Jadarian Price's Ken Walker 2.0. It could be that you just have other answers there.
Well, I wouldn't say Oots is an answer. I don't expect him to get carries like that.
No, what I mean is opening up the run game.
He's a different dynamic that you didn't have last year, right? You put a true fullback back there. Gabe Russell. Is it Gabe Russell? I'm sorry. Brady Russell. Sorry. Gabe Russell's a kid. He's a coach at Glacier Peak. That's crazy. Brady Russell back there to mix it up. He plays fullback and tight end. I think he's more of a tight end. But now you have someone who, as my big homie Big Ray says, he has a PhD at that position. Right? It's nice for guys to be versatile and be able to move around and stuff, and that's great. But when you do something at a high level, you want to put that player in that position to do that. So Oots does bring something else to this offense that I'm interested in seeing.
I'm wondering what the run game is going to look like with Brian Fleury versus Kubiak. Mostly the same?
I think a lot the same. But, the 49ers last year used a fullback more than anybody else in the NFL. So I would expect it was like them and maybe the Vikings, I want to say. But, yeah, I expect to see more of that. And I think that the run game will be similar. I was listening to Byron Murphy talk about the offense last year. He sat down with yesterday, sat down with Wyman and Bob. And he said, look, it looks mostly the same, but there are some wrinkles in there. They do a bit more shifting and moving. So he didn't say it was completely different. There are some similarities, but Fleury's got to make this thing his own, too.
Yeah. Someone said, what about Kenny McIntosh, man? And I can't tell if they're kidding. But this started by talking about how Kenny McIntosh has been waived. Was also coming off of an ACL injury and missing a whole season. He was always someone where, obviously, even prior to being waived, where I thought, is he mostly just intrigued because he's a likable guy that, we kind of all think of. Now, Kenny McIntosh was drafted, but I think a lot of people go to a Thomas Rawls where it's sometimes there's surprises when you're least expecting it.
Right.
But I think that the answer is going to have to be Jadarian, which is why I'm peppering Bump constantly with questions about Jadarian, because it feels like this room is starting to take shape. You got one less answer here. In a room full of questions, you got one less possible answer with Kenny McIntosh gone. It's worth looking at, what are your remaining answers? What do they look like? And how much of this question can they actually solve?
You know what's funny about that? We don't know. Jadarian
it
never
kills
took
me.
a
I need
snap.
answers. I need to know.
I want to know. Hasn't been a one. We'll see, though.
Coming up, we have DeMarcus Lawrence joining us at 11. Before we get to that, the disrespect of the Seahawks continues to be noted.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 100 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Earn money while you listen, earn money while you drive, earn money while you sleep. Dave Wyman here, and I know we're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours to our workday. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? That's Harborstone Credit Union, founded in 1955 for local, hard-working people. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. All it takes is a couple clicks of the mouse at harborstone.com/money market to open one. As soon as it's opened, you start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part, you retain full access to your money the entire time. Harborstone Credit Union is the hard-working credit union built for people like you and me. Get the most out of your money with Harborstone Credit Union. Open a money market account online at harborstone.com/money market. That's harborstone.com/money market. Insured by NCUA.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey, everybody, it's Rick Riz, and I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, just kind of a peek behind the curtain the other day. Bump, you might have been out this day. It was a day that I think Curtis was filling in. Curtis, I don't know if you remember, and we were out at T-Mobile Park, and there was a listener, and he's a regular listener, so I'm not calling him out, but he texted in, and he said, I'm so tired of you guys complaining about the attention the Rams are getting. And I was thinking, you know, are we doing this too much? Am I hammering the same thing? Because I like talking about it, but I don't know. Here's the thing, though. It's not my fault people keep saying things. This isn't me pointing to a cut that's a month old, hammering the same point over and over. These are new bits of sound. People continuing to heap a ton of praise on the Rams. And I'm sorry, but I think Seahawks fans are kind of getting tired of hearing stuff like this. For instance, Cut 14. This was Dan Orlovsky on Monday's edition of Get Up.
No one's beating this team if they're healthy. I don't care. This is a team that has one of the, if not the great coaches in the game. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a top 5 offense with a quarterback playing as good, if not better than anybody. They already have a top 5 defense. Aaron Donald is playing. I will go back to the moment that this came a story. McAfee's sharing the text, and when Aaron Donald said to Pat McAfee, I just got to see if the fire comes back, the fire was already there. It was never actually gone. He just wanted to see if he could actually do it again. If you can't run the ball against this defense, you're going to get slaughtered. This pass rush will be I think this will be the best third down defense we've ever seen in the NFL. I think it's going to be that good. If they're healthy, no one's beating them.
Look, I'm not saying that that's like definitively not going to happen. None of us know how the season's going to unfold, nor am I ignorant of the fact that they've got the reigning MVP, the reigning defensive player of the year, a runner-up for offensive player of the year, one of the best coaches in the NFL, if not the best. Like, I understand those things, but Bump, I still have to sit here and raise my hand and go, really? No weaknesses whatsoever? That's kind of boring analysis. I'm sorry. If I'm going to be fair, I'm just going to say, like, really? There's not a single thing on this team, not a single thing that you go, you know, I do wonder about this.
Talking about the Rams, right?
Not about about the Rams. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, but hearing Dan Orlovsky definitively, no one is beating the Rams if they're healthy. All right, well, I guess give them a trophy.
He clearly doesn't think they're going 17-0. It's
well,
just,
I mean, I don't know. No one's beating them if they're healthy.
Yeah, he's
not really saying that.
But all right, let's go through it. Their offensive line, pretty dang good. Not the best, pretty good. Their backfield, pretty dang good. Got a nice little
really underrated
combo
last year.
over there. Yeah, Williams is one of the most underrated running backs in the game.
Yeah. Their
quarterback, reigning MVP. One of their receivers, probably played the second best in the whole league last year. The other guy led the team in the league in touchdowns. Let's go defensively. Defensive line, Aaron Donald's back, best D-line in the game. Second level linebackers, okay, they good. Secondary got that much better. They don't have a weakness. That don't mean they can't be beat, though. That's the thing. Is just because your team doesn't have a weakness doesn't mean that a guy doesn't slip on third down.
I think they have a special teams weakness.
Doesn't mean there you go. There's a weakness. And Dan is definitely not thinking about special teams.
No.
He's thinking offense and defense.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that Devontae is just going to repeat what he did last year. This is all off-season talk. And if we're just talking off-season talk and we're looking at them on paper, yeah, I can look at every position minus special teams that you pointed out and say, yep, pretty dang solid right there. But you know where else I can do that? I can do that here in Seattle as well. I can say the same things. The offensive line, not bad. We'll see. Running back room is probably the biggest question mark this team has. But everywhere else, I feel pretty confident. It's just we don't have the leading roles that these guys have. The Myles Garrett, the potentially Aaron Donald, the Vontae Davis. The names aren't as flashy over here, but that doesn't mean that they're not just as good or even better.
All right, well, That's not all. This is a back and forth between Dan Orlovsky and Tim Hasselbeck. So I'm going to get back to one more from Dan, but let's go to Tim Hasselbeck here and cut 15, what he had to say.
I would say this. We're all expecting Aaron Donald to come and play. Even if he doesn't, still taking the Rams over the field. This is not a defensive line that's been neglected. Like Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, Kobe Turner, like they've been investing in the defensive line. And then, oh, by the way, come on over Myles Garrett, a guy that's been like the most dominant defensive end. I mean, he's a double-digit sack guy, and he's been doing that without, playing opposite an offense that was forcing people to throw the football late in games. He's going to be closing out games unbelievably. So I think that, I don't think they actually need it to be chosen them over the field.
So they don't even need Aaron Donald for me to choose them over and you know what? I'll say this. Even if Aaron Donald doesn't come back, the Rams are going to remain the favorite. And I don't, as far as odds makers, or if you were looking at just like super teams or rosters, like I don't even disagree. I'm not ignorant of the fact that they're chock full of Pro Bowlers and All Pros. But I mean, that's Tim Hasselbeck saying they don't even need another one for me to think that they're going to dominate.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing too, if all these experts are saying it, right, then there must be some truth about it. And you know what my rebuttal is going to be with that is, what were the experts saying about the Mariners, right? Just because the experts are saying it doesn't mean it's completely right, but they're basing their decisions off of prior knowledge, off of research, off of watching film. So I'm not mad at anybody picking the Rams over the Seahawks, right? But there are some analysts out there that are picking the Seahawks over the Rams. When it's all said and done, and this is the approach that Mike McDonald is taking, I'm sure, line it up.
Sure.
Like, go through training camp. We'll see you week 1. This is all off-season talk. And honestly, like, I'm almost to the point where I'm getting tired of talking about it. Well, I'm going to say the same thing. Like, yeah, okay, pick the Rams. That's fine. But I think the Seahawks can still beat the Rams.
Well, I think that what I would still want to get to, because we aren't going to know what they look like actually playing each other until December. I think the part I am interested right now is whether or not the Rams have definitively far and away a better roster than everyone else. Like, that's the part I am interested in right now. Let's talk about just on paper. Forget about lining it up for right now, because we're not going to see that answer for a while. On paper, are the Rams that much better? I mean, cut 16, Dan talks about the roster like no one's even sniffing the talent that they have.
Every team, there's always the health question for everybody. There's only so many teams that, if healthy, can win it. I think there's like 8 or 10 this year. No one sniffs the Rams. Not when it comes to the coaching and the talent, nobody.
However, in cut 12, this was Bill Simmons countering those arguments. This is a guest appearance on the Mina Kimes podcast. He thinks that the Seahawks roster, not just like, oh, they won, you have to beat them, that as a team, they are better. Cut 12.
Seattle has the most talent in the league. And I don't see the only scenario that you wouldn't think they're going to be the best team again is that they won the Super Bowl last year. There's no other case. They have the best team in the league. They have the most talent. They have the most players that you would give points to. They have the best defense. I think they have the best coaching staff. I don't really feel like they lost anything. It's like, oh, no. Kenneth Walker, who we had to keep our fingers crossed for 4 years, is he going to play? Well, now we're putting in the Notre Dame running back that might actually be really good. And I think I just don't see a scenario where they're not really good. Their schedule's harder, I get it, but they're really talented.
Now, Bump, I know you're probably sick of hearing it and you just want them to actually play, and I totally get that. But this is interesting. This is interesting to me because we're talking about just roster-based. There's someone who knows a lot, Bill Simmons, saying, no, I've looked at the rosters. I'm familiar. I just think the Rams are super top-heavy, and I think the Seahawks have a better roster. I haven't heard that argument. You agree?
I think that when it comes to the unknowns, the current unknown players, the guys that no one really knows about, right, that you find the diamonds in the roughs, right? You found Josh Jobe. No one really knew about him. You found a Drake Thomas. No one really knew about him. When it comes to those guys, I will give the Seahawks the edge for sure. And I like Simmons' his angle where coaching matters, right? And I believe in the coaching staff here too. So there's going to be angles for both. I mean, they both make great arguments. If I'm I'm a judge in the court of law, I'm sitting there thinking like, man, both these guys are spitting knowledge right now, facts. But that's all we can do at this point. I would still pick the Seahawks over the Rams. If they're going to play 3 games again, I'm giving them 2, just like last year.
Why would you pick the Seahawks over the Rams?
Because I just believe in the system, and most importantly, I believe in Mike McDonald and what he's going to do with this defense. Like, defense is what's going to win you a championship. I know it's cliche, everyone says that, but it's real. This defense is going to win you a championship. If Aaron Donald is on that roster, it tilts just a little bit for me, right? It's tilted in the Seahawks' favor. If Aaron is on it, I think it's an even playing field, and we'll see who's healthy at the end of the year when these guys line up. But it's man, we're splitting hairs at this point with these two teams.
Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Luis Castillo takes the mound against Dodgers all-star righty Justin Robleski. First pitch is coming your way at 7:10 p.m. Pregame show at 6 p.m. DeMarcus Lawrence almost retired, but then decided against it. Why? Let's ask him next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Need a lift? Levitt Machinery is now your authorized JCB dealer in Washington and Oregon. From telehandlers to track and wheel loaders to excavators, JCB equipment is built to work as hard as you do. Whether you buy, rent, or lease, Levitt Machinery is here to support you. With expert service and local parts in stock, LevittMachinery.com. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our bargain barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Justin's an avid skier, and a hard fall on the mountain changed everything.
I wound up tearing my meniscus, and then I found out that I also had osteoarthritis.
The pain was relentless.
Initially, it was probably a 7 or 8, but then it just continued and never went away.
It wasn't just pain, it was how he moved.
The biggest issue I had was simply walking. I could not walk without limping.
Others might have looked into surgery, but Justin chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's it now?
I'm back to skiing as hard as I can, and I don't even notice my knee anymore.
And the recovery?
Well, the biggest thing is I was walking without a limp within weeks, where I had been limping for the last year or so. Now I just feel totally normal. I feel like I can do anything that I ever did.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped that finale of a 4-game series to the Rangers yesterday in a 7-3 loss. They've got 3 more on the road before coming home, so there's a chance to get a winning road trip. Unfortunately, it'll require a sweep of the Dodgers. Anything's possible, right? Shohei Ohtani suffered a recent setback in his return to the rotation, so the Mariners won't be facing him on the mound. Luis Castillo, Emerson Hancock, and Bryce Miller will be starters for Seattle over the next 3 days. As a heads up, each of these 3 games will start at 7:10 p.m. with a 6 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Brissett gets hit again. Ball bounces. Are you kidding me? It goes to D-Law again. Another touchdown. Seahawks. Holy catfish. Lightning strikes twice for the Seahawks defense. Brissett rears back to throw. Gets hit. Arms not going forward. Ball bounces right to DeMarcus Lawrence. His second touchdown of the game, the 4th of his career, and Seattle is up 27-0. Oh, my word.
DeMarcus Lawrence joining us right now from Seahawks training camp. I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget to ask you. I was listening to Julian talk about how Mike McDonald was telling you guys about Jordan's Bulls from the 90s, obviously. What was the messaging there? Like, why was he telling you guys about the 1990s Chicago Bulls?
Jordan Bulls?
Yeah, like Michael Jordan and, like, that dynasty. Was there some kind of thing where he was telling you guys, like, oh, you have to...
Yeah, I might have missed that conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All good.
No worry. You know what? I'm going to be really shameless. This was purely to set up a Jordan versus LeBron question for you.
Okay,
so do you want to answer that one?
Jordan versus LeBron. Can't answer it because, you know, different eras, different types of styles of play. Yeah, I feel like the game has advanced a little more now, you know, with the different schemes and, you know, the one-on-one play. But just watching highlights of Jordan, you know, just excites you more than, you know, LeBron highlights. So if I can pick, you know, I picked Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you're a little younger than me, so I thought you was gonna go LeBron all day.
For sure thought you would go
Yeah, I thought
LeBron.
you were gonna go LeBron all day.
I mean, Jordan stayed with one team, you know, and won his championships. LeBron, you know, basically built his super teams.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, but then again, I'm low-key a LeBron.
Yeah. And he built another one. He's in Philly now, so we'll see how that rolls. Hey, when the Hawks first signed you, I went back. He only played like, 4 or 5 games before, I think the year before. Yeah. And I went back, and I watched the film. I was like, this dude moving around like he's 28, 27 years of age, man. What do you do to take care of yourself? Because you're not your average 34-year-old out there.
Yeah, nutrition. You know, I do a lot of studies in the off season on my body, on, you know, what I'm lacking, you know, what different things that can help me. But also, shout out to my trainer, Buck. You know, he puts me through a stint of workouts through the off season to make sure that my knees are stable, ankles are stable, my quick twitch muscles are working good, and, you know, all those things. So, you know, from my nutrition staff all the way, you know, to my training staff, they put together a good regimen for me.
What's the hardest workout to do? See, he works out a lot more than I do. You obviously work out a ton and play. I have to force myself through it. Like, I hate it every time. And there are just some, like anything with quads, I'm like, hard pass. I wish I could click my fingers and fast forward through it.
Yeah, I think it's the hammy letdowns for me. Oh, man, like if I can, you know, avoid that exercise, I will do it.
Yeah, there are just some where you're like, no matter what it is. And you could even have it like really developed, but you're like, it's just not for me.
Absolutely.
Be like that.
Yeah.
What was your involvement with getting Dante interested in coming up to the Northwest?
It wasn't too much. You know, me and Dante been locked in for a long while now. And, you know, I was able to send him a text, let him know, like, you know, this the land where the gold resides at. So, you know, if you want some gold, come over here to the Hawks.
Do you get, we heard Derek Hall saying, you know, it's been kind of cool. You get like Dante Fowler in here. I know he talked at length about how cool it was for you to come here. Do you still get some young guys, even like newer ones this year, that will come up and try to pull you to the side and be like, hey, D-Lo, you mind if I ask you a question or two?
No, I don't think, you know, they got to that level yet. I think, you know, the young guys are still warming up, learning the system, learning, you know, who they're able to talk to, you know, and those emphasis. But I feel like, you know, everybody is really, you know, honed into, you know, us being a tight-knit brotherhood. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past any young guys. I know they, you know, be talking their trash now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They'll wait till they're a little more established, maybe.
Right.
You can't go in day one of training camp and be like, hey, give me the advance.
Nah, right. They just trying to get their feet wet right now.
Exactly.
The rookies are seen, not heard.
Exactly. You got to come up, hey, Mr. Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. I didn't play long enough to where my kids were old enough to remember me playing. But one of the things I love about you is, man, after the games, you're always looking for wifey, looking for your kids. Yeah. What was that like sharing that moment with your wife and kids as being a champion?
Oh, man, it was a special moment. You know, my kids was able to see my whole career and, you know, my ups and downs, the Pro Bowl years and stuff, but they never seen a Super Bowl. So, you know, just being there and experiencing that moment with them is something that I'll never forget.
You've probably been asked many versions of this, but one thing that was so impressive about what you guys did defensively last year is that basically wire to wire, you were the best defense, like statistically in the league. And that
hands
includes
down.
by advanced, hands down, by DVOA, like by advanced metrics, you guys were #1. And then by the end of the year, you surpassed Texas with scoring. So it was like basic stats advanced. But you didn't have any one particular player that was like tops in the league in sacks, #1 in pressures, #1 in whatever. It was just kind of like everyone was eating at different times. How much of that is scheme? How much of it is the guys in the room? Like, how did you guys do that? Because there wasn't this moment where you look back and you see one specific name where you're like, oh, that guy led the league here.
Yeah, I think it, you know, comes back to, you know, our brotherhood. You know, just, you know, one thing that we say to each other, you feed my family, I feed your family. And that just goes to us, you know, being a complete D-line, you know, 4 = 1 instead of, you know, winning just one-on-ones. Like I said earlier, like the game has advanced more, you know, with the different schemes and, you know, these intellectual coaches like the one I have, Mike McDonald. But, you know, it just really comes down to the players, you know, honing in to, you know, the details of their position, but also, you know, learning how to play with the guy next to them.
So last year, one of the first 2 meetings I think you guys had, Mike McDonald talks about it. Imagine playing in a conference championship in Seattle. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. We like this. How do you set the tone in your first couple of meetings now that you've accomplished all of that? I know you guys are motivated, but what was his message to you guys when you first arrived?
I can't even tell you off the top of my head, bro. I just know that nothing changes. You know, the standard that we set last year, we're building on that, but also, you know, we're refocusing on going to do it again. So I feel like, you know, whatever message that was said, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So, you know, the dogs over here is hungry and, you know, still not getting, you know, the type of, how can I say it? We're still not getting, you know,
the respect that y'all earned.
Yeah, the respect that we're earned. So, you know, go out and prove it again and again and again.
That might answer my next question for you. Nothing to me feels cooler than, like, maybe you say something, everyone laughs, and then you're like, check you guys later, and you leave, right? Like, you just leaving the room being like, I'm on top. Yeah. How close were you to considering retired? Like, think about everything you'd accomplished in your career. You win a Super Bowl. There's a chance to literally to leave on top and be like, this is the best moment. There's no heartbreaking end to this. Right. How close were you to really considering that, and why didn't you?
Yeah, I was very close. You know, went through a long off season of, you know, going back and forth. Am I going to retire? Am I not? And I think the one thing that, you know, held me steady is it's easy to, you know, take over a kingdom, but the hard part is when you got the kingdom and now it's time to defend it. Are you going to, you know, sit back and, you know, eat the fruits of your labor, or are you going to, you know, start preparing and, you know, building up your walls and, you know, making sure everything is structurally prepared to defend it. So I didn't want to go out on the easy way. I wanted to, you know, make sure I go out on top with the bang to let, you know, the whole world know, like, this wasn't for facade. This was something real.
You said conquering is one thing, but ruling is another.
A whole 100%.
Yeah.
I just saw Odyssey this weekend. You just remind me of that. If you ain't seen that, go ahead and check that out. You'll like. It's a long movie though, man. It was like 3 hours, and
man,
I didn't went to sleep like twice.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, I can't. Anything after 8, it's a wrap for your boy over here, man. What's it like getting, like, I heard Julian say, like, all right, there's 70% of the team that's here, and then 30% is new. But we want to acclimate both of you, like the guys who are here and the guys who are new. What's that process like? I would assume it's just organic, right? Just being around each other and getting to know people.
Yeah, it's organic. You know, you reach out to your young guys, you know, bring them in, let them know that they're a part of the group, but also, you know, hold them to the standard that we already set. You know, just like we have so many leaders on our team, on our defense, and the standard that we set. We won't, you know, let nobody come in and break it or, you know, tear it down. So, you know, just bringing those young guys in, you know, making them feel at home, but also holding them up to that standard.
You mentioned you're kind of brainiac head coach. You said I've got one of those. How soon was that obvious to you?
Oh, it was soon my first day here. You know,
what was it?
The first install. You know, see, like our plays, it can come in as a simple play, but you have so many checks and adjustments to it. You start to wonder, like, dang, like this play is actually 10 plays in one, you know, and, you know, throughout my NFL career, I wasn't used to that. You know, I was just used to playing a run. If I see pass, communicate, and, you know, pass rush. But, you know, now, you know, I had to fix my mind to understanding that it's so much more details out there in the game to, you know, help you make plays. So, you know, just being under Mike's system, you know, I was able to, you know, get that last year.
You've been in the game 12 years, and a lot you haven't seen, but last year you did something you ain't done before. You had 2 of them things to the house. What was that like, man? I mean, defensive guys scooping and scoring. I'm in the press box trying to calm down and not go crazy. That has to be a cool moment for you.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Just speaking on the moment, when I was in the moment, seeing T-Knight fly through the hole, for the second time, I was like, no way. And then the ball just bounced. I said, oh, thank you, Lord.
Perfect bounce.
like soon as this bounced, I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. And it just fell in my hand, and I just, kept running. So, but that all goes back to, understanding the system, but also, having great players around you, like Tyrese Knight, because I couldn't did it without him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is DeMarcus Lawrence, kind enough to join us here from training camp ahead of tough practice. Hopefully no tough hamstring stuff for you. I'll pray for you. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
We're kicking off the 2026 Seahawks season with the preseason home opener on August 15th, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app, A-P-P, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 3rd. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What assumptions did you make when you saw the Seahawks waived Kenny McIntosh?
The first assumption I made was that they feel like they have enough in that room. They feel like, we're going to give Jadarian most of the carries. We got George Halani rocking with the 1 so far. You got Emmanuel there as well. I assume they'll bring in another running back, which will serve as a camp body. Maybe he finds a way to make this team. And then I thought, maybe his style of running doesn't work for this offense. Or maybe there's something he's doing inside the classroom that isn't working. I think Kenny McIntosh is a good football player. I think he's a good running back. We haven't been able to really see him shine yet. Only about 170 to 180 plays he's played so far in his young career. But I was a bit surprised because I thought that this was an opportunity for Kenny McIntosh to really show what he can do. Obviously not 100% healthy. I'm healthy enough to kind of be out here and move around a little bit. But my first thought was that they think they have enough, and they want to make more room for a guy like Price to really evolve and shine in this offense.
Second down. What do you expect to increase as training camp progresses?
There's a few things. Right, guys right now are so willing to talk to the media. They're fresh. They haven't been beat up a bit. So eventually guys aren't going to want to talk to us anymore. That's just how camp goes. You get tired, you get asked the same questions, you just want to get your treatment, you want to get out of here, you want to start working on your craft. So I get that. I think the enthusiasm to participate is going to go down when it comes to guys. Then I expect the coaching intensity to go up. I heard Mike McDonald after the first day of training camp, he goes, oh, you're not worried about mistakes right now. I just want to make sure guys understand how we work and all that stuff. Yeah, that's going to change real soon, right? You keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. A couple things are going to happen. Mike is going to get all up in you, or you're not going to be here anymore. So I expect the intensity to go up, and then just the acceptance of mistakes. It's not going to be okay to make the simple mistake anymore. That's what happens as training camp goes along, man. Guys get frustrated. I mean, this team loves each other, right? Guarantee there's going to be a scuffle or two. Right, these guys love each other, but you just get irritated. You're around the same guys all the time. You're going up against the same guy all the time. So things are going to change a bit, man. Enjoy this. Enjoy the first few days of training camp, because after a week or so, the vibe will change as far as coaching, expectations, and the intensity on the football field.
Third down. What's your favorite part of a training camp practice?
And it's so unfair, too. It's receiver DBs one-on-ones. Like, we're supposed to win those. Receivers, we're supposed to win those 100% of the times. You're not going to win it 100% of the times, but you're supposed to win it. And the reason why I like the one-on-ones is because I look at a receiver and I can try to tell
Gave you away.
how he's evolved. Blitz is try to get after us right now. Usually he gets Stacy about 3 times
Does
a camp.
he usually get me?
Yes, he does. 3 times a camp. He gets
That's
you.
not twice, maybe, max.
But I look at a receiver and I understand what he's trying to do, what he's working on, how he's setting guys up. Then I look at a DB and I understand, okay, is he comfortable in press? How quick does he get up his back pedal? You learn the physical traits of a player during those one-on-ones. It's not a fair drill. Receivers should win it most of the time, but the data you can collect on the individual during those drills is fun for me to watch.
I thought you were going to take us back to your time here as a player and be like, when it was over. When practice ended and I could go to a cold tub.
That was also nice, too, though.
That was also
that
pretty
was really
sweet.
nice.
What was the toughest part, as from a player perspective? Especially when it's hot, like hot days.
Well, my perspective is different than other guys. I was a guy in the bubble trying to make the team.
Right.
So the hardest part is you're only going to get your 10 snaps during practice.
Only a few shots.
And making sure you do not mess that up.
Yeah.
Right? And a guy goes down, being ready to get in there. Like, I would treat practices like a game. I wouldn't talk to anybody in the locker room before practice. I'm like, y'all, you got 10 mil coming this year. I'm just trying to make this team. So
right.
For me, the toughest part was just being so locked in every single practice as if it were a game.
4th down. 3 times a camp. He didn't get me 3 times a camp.
At least 3 times.
No, I think 3 times total ever since we've ever been at camp.
Okay.
4th down. What stuck out to you most during our conversation with D-Law?
I love the way he described, you asked him about, going out on top and right down to the sunset and all that good stuff. But he was like, the tougher challenge is like trying to protect the empire. Like, that's the fun part. And I'm a history guy. I love history. So I always look back at, all these great empires and how long they held control over a region. And that is always the hardest part. You can march in with 100,000. All right, now can you maintain it and can you expand your territory? So when he started talking like that, he tapped into the nerd part of me. I'm like, yeah.
The minute you set up, you're like, have you seen the Odyssey?
Yeah, I love that. And then he also said this defense is like having 10 plays in one. And I think that's critical. So what that says is you come out in this base defense, or whatever the call is, and based off of whatever they give you, whether it be formation, shift, or whatnot, there are some automatic checks that happen. So that's why you always see these guys communicating and making sure everyone's on the same page, because you might come out in something, and the offense kind of determines what you end up in. And I think that's crucial, man, because if you have a defense that's just straight up, you come out as cover 2, regardless of what they do. We're cover 2. You can't be manipulated. So it sounds like Mike McDonald's is doing a great job of making sure that his players always have an answer to any type of adjustment that an offense is going to have out there. And I think that's cool. This is a guy talking who's been in the league 12 years who was like, yeah, man, I just played a defense that was straight up. If it's pass, I pass rush. If it's run, I play the run. So it was cool to hearing a guy who's played so much football kind of get into a new system and learn something new.
I thought it was interesting. You're right, to your point about how he's played so much football, to just hear him say, like, how much at age 34, after being with quite a few good Dallas defensive coordinators and good Dallas defenses, that there was some stuff here that was new, or like, oh, I'd never thought about it that way before. Like, it's just crazy. You would think that a guy who was 34 years old, he seemed like, when he was talking with us, like, he seems like a smart guy, pretty down to earth. He was super friendly, like someone who would be invested in the playbook and like wanting to like evolve.
Yeah.
And it struck me as surprising that someone who had been around that many good coordinators would be like, yeah, I learned a new thing.
And that's the great thing about football too, is guys like Mike McDonald, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they're the ones changing the game and forcing defenses to kind of evolve at the same time. If offenses are evolving, defense has got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And that's why you hire these young coaches, because they see the game differently. They still have their old school concepts and principles, but they see the game so differently, it forces change. And that's all football is constantly adjusting to what the opponent is trying to do.
Do you think it's harder for, I don't mean casual fans as an insult, but anyone who's never played, me, do you think it's harder for people to realize when defenses and how they're evolving, when and how they're evolving compared to offenses? I think it's easier to see when an offense is like, well, I haven't seen that before. Yeah. It's harder for me with defense.
Because with offense, you're on the attack. So it's straightforward and you kind of see it. With defenses, even when I watch film on a defense, I have my base rules off of what I think they're in. But there are rules and checks that I don't even know about because I'm not in the room. Yeah. So when I watch a film and I talk about a defense, I say, this is what I think they're doing.
Yep.
Because everyone has their own little tweak. So, yeah, it's that's what makes the game fun, especially watching film, trying to figure out exactly what the rules are, what their checks are.
More drama surrounding Bill Belichick's North Carolina football program, plus a big league announcer tells everyone about his guilty pleasure. That's next.
Jeff Passan, every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
The problem that I'm seeing right now, Brock, is the absolute mediocrity of the American League has a chance to completely upend our expectations of what a trade deadline looks like. that because the standings are so flat in the American League, this could be a molasses slow deadline.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Are you squeezing every last bit of fun out of your summer? Looking for a fun add to your itinerary? I have the perfect trip. It's already planned out for you at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you need to do. You head up Friday, treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member at Reef Rewards that allow you discounts on gas, dining, hotel, and the spa. Saturday morning, get yourself a tea time at Loomis Trails, man. Get there early, check out the range, and the historic clubhouse is beautiful. After your round, enjoy a Saturday night dinner at the Cantina or the Red River Cafe before live entertainment. Sunday is for the spa. Relax and recharge, get a massage and treatment and work out all those kinks and knots. And before you head home, plan your next weekend at Silver Reef. Maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, or Guns for Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this season. Ask about a designer-led complimentary color consultation. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
I have a new favorite big league announcer. Is anyone else watching Married at First Sight or Love Island?
I watched a few episodes of Love Island, realized that it wasn't my cup of tea, but I get why people are entertained by it. Married at First Sight is kind of my speed. I'll probably check that out.
Curtis, you big Love Island, and just so you know, your wife is here, so we'll know if you're lying. No, she says no. Not a big Married at First Sight fan for Curtis.
No, I have not watched either of those shows.
You guys, it's such a good show. It's such a good show. What are you talking about? Oh, God. Okay, well, someone understands. This is Phillies TV analyst John Crook, cut 9. Take a listen.
John Crook is a connoisseur of reality television.
Yeah, big one now. Binge watching.
Are you watching Love Island on Peacock?
Not anymore.
But you used to.
Yes. What happened? But now, well, I've watched them all. Now I'm on to Peacock's very own Married at First Sight.
And tell everybody the premise if they haven't watched it.
These 3 psychiatrists or whatever, they interview people and then they try to match them with what they think would be their perfect mate. Boy, do they fail miserably sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm on it, man. Season 12.
So they're using analytics to match.
Analytics, yeah, and it's a backfire sometimes.
I think it's a backfire intentionally sometimes. It's my opinion.
Yeah,
in my humble opinion, they try to make one couple work out and then 5 completely backfire.
Yeah, there's some wild cards in there for sure. I mean, that's like, if you ever been around, remember I told you I went on the show Ellen before, right? Mm-hmm. That's when I realized it's not all what you think it is. A lot of that stuff is staged.
Yes.
It's, so it's entertainment. So they have to make sure. I remember going on stage, them saying, hey, you have to entertain. This is a show. I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I can't just be myself. Can't be low-key. Like, nah, be entertaining.
My favorite thing is when people try to tell me, that's fake, right? I'm like, do you watch wrestling and think that it's, absolutely 1,000% real? Or do you watch it because you're entertained and it's funny and there's inside jokes and, the audience is in on it? That's reality TV.
Yeah.
The audience, most of the time, is in on it. That's me and that's John.
Yep.
We get it.
He's still gossip about, oh, my God, did you see this?
I wish I was in that booth. It would have gone completely off the rails.
Oh, man.
Next up, the Seahawks have announced their throwback games, Week 7 against the Chiefs, Sunday Night Football, and Week 13 against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Let the world see those beautiful uniforms.
I wish that they could be the regular uniforms.
They're going to be. I'm calling it now. They're making the switch here soon.
They would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Regular. Is there a team? When's the last time to change? Excuse me. When is the last team? What is the last team that did an actual change to their unis? I know the Falcons made a tiny tweak, but
Falcons did.
Obviously, every team has.
Oh, the Titans, they have the powder blues now.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who's the last team that made a pretty significant change, where we were like, whoa, that's weird to see. Trying to get used to it. I couldn't remember. That's a good one. Yeah. Great games. Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs and Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. Throwback unis are the best unis. Speaking of baby blue, the drama surrounding Bill Belichick's North Carolina football program ratcheted up on Monday when Tar Heels football GM Michael Lombardi was placed on administrative leave. Now, here's the thing. The school didn't disclose any details on why Lombardi was placed on leave. He was handpicked by Bill Belichick prior to last football season. Cut 11, ESPN's Pete Thamel was asked whether this is another stain on Belichick's tenure in Chapel Hill.
Mike Lombardi clearly is Bill Belichick's right-hand guy. He's his hand-picked personnel guy. Mike Lombardi announced he was leaving to go to North Carolina seconds after Adam Schefter and I sent the tweet about his hiring at North Carolina. Bill Belichick has been a staunch Mike Lombardi supporter throughout. Lombardi has bounced around the NFL prior. He's a divisive guy. He's been fired at multiple places. And look, this is a key part of Bill Belichick's college football operation. In the wake of that 4-8 season last year, where Mike Lombardi did pick the players with Bill Belichick, this certainly does not loom well for Bill Belichick in his tenure moving forward, especially because this is his hand-picked general.
Yeah, the Bill Belichick time, and I don't know how many people are absolutely shocked to see that Bill Belichick, a notoriously difficult NFL head coach, would struggle in college with much younger players, different rules, recruiting being a thing that just doesn't exist in the same way in the NFL. That being said, it has not even had splashes of fun.
You know what? Bill Belichick is old school. And when you bring in old school, there are going to be some old school philosophies and mentalities and approaches to stuff. And this is all assumption, right? We know nothing about what Lombardi did. But when you're bringing the old gang the old gang in a new game, bars, you know, you gotta adjust a little bit. And it's been an adjustment for Belichick over there and his squad. Not surprised. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy.
I don't know the details, Curtis. Maybe you have it on hand or remember it, or Bump, maybe you do. I don't remember the details about his contract, but how much longer do we think Bill is actually there?
Well, he had that buyout clause that dropped to only like $1 million if he had stayed through, I think it was June of 2025. So he could probably leave whenever he feels like it. I think that's where it's at, unless they reworked his deal.
Yeah.
But if you're North Carolina, why would you retain him after all of this?
Yeah, it's not like you need like eyeballs on the program. I know you're not your hoops program, but it's North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like you have a very famous alum who was just in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think he definitely does raise the profile of the program, but it's to what cost?
Well, I think that's what they hoped.
Like,
well, and it's an alum that Belichick won't allow around his team because he doesn't allow any contact with the New England Patriots organization.
That's the thing. It's like your hope would be, well, we can beat out. We don't have to have the NIL money that some other schools do if we have a guy that players think can like fast track them to the NFL. But he's not that.
No, he's not. And well, maybe he's learned over the last couple seasons. Has it been 1 or 2 seasons he's been up? Just one, huh? Just one season?
Yeah, just one.
Is this the second?
Yeah, so maybe he's learned through this one season and wants to try it again. So, all right, look, this is what I've learned. This is what I'm going to change, and I feel like I can do it. Because Bill's a winner, though. He wins. He does not want to leave a program feeling like he hasn't accomplished anything.
Next up, chaos ensued yesterday during the Tigers-Orioles game when a squirrel ran onto the field, cut 10, dozens of ground crew members, and even Baltimore right fielder Leody Taveras tried to corral the squirrel.
The chase for the squirrel is on, and the squirrel is in the corner, and the squirrel is still eluding an entire horde of grounds crew members. And the squirrel's free once again. Hemmed in? No, I won't be hemmed in. I have freedom on my mind. Trying to go between the legs, and eventually he gets away again and hops through the towel. And hops through another towel. The force field is activated. Towels can't stop him, or maybe they can.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the grounds crew. Let's give them a round of applause. The Detroit Tigers grounds crew, thank you.
That's Bill Miller, the crew chief. He just got on his mic to thank the grounds crew and got booed.
It took 67 of them to catch one squirrel.
He's not exaggerating. There's about 10 grounds crew members minimum around there with a bunch of others. I love Jason Benetti's call. I've got freedom on my mind.
Yo, I watched that video way too many times analyzing the approach of that grounds crew. There are some people
you don't think they have the right angles?
Who are faking it. They don't really want to touch that squirrel. They're just kind of bouncing around. Like then the squirrel runs up, and I saw one guy move out the way. I go, look, just get in its way and force another direction because half of those guys and gals that do not want to be out there.
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm looking at the video right now. I think there's definitely, it's not even just, they didn't have the right angles, bad tackle form. There's not a want to there.
They didn't want it.
There's some people without a high motor. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I'll say the grounds crew needs to maybe re-examine. Now, I'm not calling for anyone's job.
It's going through motions.
I think we need to re-examine who the grounds crew sends out. You know what I mean? Like, who's your soldiers that you're sending out there? If you've got a streaker. I do think if there was someone on the field, because think about it, what would you be more excited to tackle if you got to be a grounds crew member for a day?
A person.
Exactly.
All day. Because, a person's not going to turn around and bite you. Not necessarily.
So I think that's a little bit of what's happening.
I don't do rodents either, so I feel them. I ain't touching none of that.
Would you be kind of like quietly excited to be grounds crew and then you see someone getting on the field and you're like, I've been praying for this?
I'm lighting him up.
just thinking. I was just realizing that like you and Wyman as grounds crew for the Mariners for one day, you're probably begging people to jump down and get onto the field.
I'll give you $50 if you just run right now.
Just try it. Just do it. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners take on the Dodgers tonight. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. First pitch at 7 p.m. on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers. Edmonds Hype Train coming your way next.
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Seattle baseball is heating up, and so is summertime. Dave Wyman for Fast Home Services. Their HVAC department has you covered. While others book out for weeks, Fast Heating and Air is just that, fast. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to request your next-day consultation for AC, heat pumps, or other cooling services. Same week install available for a limited time. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on Us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawks Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump, guess the oldest person on the Seahawks roster right now.
DeMarcus is 34. He's got to be up there. But I feel like there's someone else that's sneaky.
It's sneaky.
Sneaky.
Which players usually stick around longer than anyone?
Tackles, kickers, and quarterbacks.
You're getting into the right group with specialists. I'm just going to tell you because I got to get to hype train. Jason Myers, born in 1991.
Yeah, he's kicker. Yeah, 1991.
1991's
that's the oldest.
The oldest player on this entire roster.
Cool. I was born in 91.
Well,
you're washed.
Yeah, you're washed. There might still be time because here's the thing. He was born in May. Oh no, he's younger than you.
I'm
older.
It's
too late.
I'm
It's
older
too late for
than
you.
him.
Too late for you. Let's head to the station for hype train. MLB's trade deadline is August 3rd. According to Daniel Kramer of MLB.com, the Mariners are expected to make at least one of their starters available. But will they actually do it? This is your first hype train. The Mariners trade one of their starters.
They need to. That's your best asset. And if you want to get better, that's what you got to get rid of. I'm on this train. They better do it at this point. But the boys also got to give them something to believe in as well, man. Like, you got to play some better ball. Maybe they're a bit more aggressive if you do. But they're definitely getting rid of one.
The Mariners trade one of their starters. Bump is boarding, saying not only will they, I think they need to. Curtis, are you?
Yeah, I think they will. So we're boarding this train. You look at how many starting pitchers they might have available next year with Cade Anderson being major league ready. Ryan Sloan not far behind. You've got Logan Evans returning from Tommy John surgery. Then you've got the 6 guys who are in their rotation right now. Like, that's too many. Like, it's great to have guys waiting in the wings, but you've got to be able to, have a set rotation next year, because I don't want to go through this whole charade of having a 6-man rotation next year. Do something about it. Fortify that offense. Get some reinforcements here. Trade a starting pitcher.
think we're all aboard this one. I think that once you hear it from multiple outlets, it's Bob Nightingale talking about it. It's Daniel Kramer talking about it. It's very clear that the team is getting the word out that they're open to dealing one of these starters. And if it's not Luis Castillo, then it's Emerson Hancock. Next up. The reason, Bump, that I quizzed you about the roster is I have one, a paper copy, and I was looking at it for our next hype train. I was looking at the running back room, and I was thinking, I love a preseason star. Nothing's more fun than a preseason star where, like, you're rooting for that guy. He ends up having, like, 100-plus yards over a couple games, and this is who I think it's going to be. Emmanuel Wilson will be your star of the Seahawks preseason.
Out of all positions?
Mm-hmm. Everyone on this here roster that I'm holding in my hand.
That their roster in your hand. No, it's going to be Riley Mills. I think Riley Mills is going to back up all the hype that he has created for himself. People love him. He only played in 30-something snaps. I can see Emmanuel getting loose, but I think Riley Mills plays at a starter level, and we're going to see that fairly quickly in this preseason.
Emmanuel Wilson will be the star of the preseason. That is my prediction. But Bump isn't boarding. He thinks it's going to be Riley Mills. Defensive star. You're going to have to rack up some stats for that one. Curtis, what about you?
It seems to always be a running back.
Always.
That's usually who gets it. And, I mean, I don't know if Helani's going to get a lot of playing time considering he's got a pretty big role in the offense this year. Price, I think, will get some just because they want to get him acclimated to the speed of an NFL game. Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of pointing to... We all know where this is going, Curtis. Sure, Stacy. We're boarding this train. Emmanuel Wilson is the star of the preseason.
Next up, all aboard that one. The 76ers should be the favorite out of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they should be. LeBron, Jaylen Brown, VJ, Maxey, Joel. I mean, this is the best starting five he's played with since the bubble. And
don't forget that championship.
Don't forget it. And if he don't get it done with this squad, it's a wrap. They should be favored. I looked at their potential starting five. Everyone's averaged more than 20 points but one guy. Everybody, and that's the rookie, and he dropped like 19 a game.
Yeah.
So, yes, they should be the favorite.
Sorry, Knicks. The 76ers should be the favorites in the Eastern Conference. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I am not going to board this train. I think the Knicks have.
On our hands.
Well, I think the Knicks haven't lost a ton in this offseason, and I think of the guys that they have lost, they are replaceable. So I'm going to say the Knicks, until they get knocked off in the Eastern Conference, I think they are the favorite because it's not going to be Boston this year. Paul George is definitely a step down from Jaylen Brown. The 76ers, yes, have the best starting five in the Eastern Conference, but are they as deep as the Knicks? Remains to be seen. So that's why I'm picking the Knicks to remain the favorites in the Eastern Conference so long as they are holding the title.
I am boarding this train because Bump and Curtis always match, and rarely do I get a chance. So that's my reasoning. Next up. Wyman would have caught the squirrel that broke onto the field at Comerica Park.
Wyman. At his lovely age of late 50s,
Wyman
early 60s.
Yesterday, Monday, when the squirrel broke onto the field, would have caught it.
There's something that happens once you reach a certain age.
Wow.
You don't even attempt. You just let the young guys do it. And I'm at that age. I would have been like, nah, go ahead and get that.
You don't think that even at his age he would have been able to take the right
And
angles?
I love Wyman. That's my guy. But listen, my knees hurt, so I know his hurt. My back hurts. I know his hurt.
I think there's a viciousness that he's got.
Stacy, my man is in his 60s.
I think he could have done it.
You just know he's listening, so you want to show some love. Wyman, I love you.
What it is.
I love you, Wyman. I ain't getting that dang squirrel, so I know you ain't getting that squirrel.
I'm not doing it because I think Wyman's listening, but Wyman, I know you're listening. I just want you to. I want it to be known that I believed in you and Bump didn't. Wyman would have caught the squirrel that broke onto the field at Comerica Park. Curtis?
Yes, we're boarding this train.
Wow. Wyman, I'm your true friend.
Wow.
I'll tell you if you have a booger in your nose.
It has nothing to do with physical
Sounds
capabilities.
like you're abandoning him.
It has nothing to do with his age. What it has to do is Wyman has that killer instinct within himself.
That's what I said.
He's got those linebacker eyes. He's a crazy person.
You gotta move.
So
it's not just about. It's about the want to. That's what I'm saying.
When Wyman walks up here right now, it's gonna look like his knees are hurting.
You know what?
He ain't catching no dang squirrel.
But Wyman's got the want to.
Wyman, I love you, baby.
If you told Wyman that squirrel ate his plants, that's what I'm saying. If you told Wyman that squirrel right there, that squirrel ate your flowers.
Oh, wild for that.
Lyman would lose it.
Teacher, are you going to turn the homework? Oh,
Shut
that's
up.
what you sound like.
That's not what I sound like. Next up. Someone not named Brock leads all Seattle sports personalities in total Hard Knocks camera time by the end of the preseason.
That's not happening. It's all Brock.
Wow.
It's all Brock. I'm sorry to say it, but it's going to be all Brock. He's the darling of the Northwest.
What's funny is that they're probably only going to be out at the facility, I think, tomorrow because it's an early practice and they're having.
Shut up.
Or no, I think Thursday.
Oh,
so
okay.
one
I
of
was going to
those
say
2
tomorrow's
days,
the day we're not here.
One of those 2 days they're going to be there, and I imagine any Mike McDonald interview footage is going to be all sorts of camera time on Hard Knocks. So
this laptop right now.
I'm not boarding this train. I think it's going to be Brock.
You know what Trevor
as the
told?
league leader.
You know what Trevor told me and Bump?
What did he tell you?
He said that the HBO cameras were over here yesterday filming Wyman and Bob.
Wow, dark horse.
Dark horse candidate, late entry into the race. God, I'm so mad.
What if it's
I'm
Bob
so mad.
leading everybody in camera time?
I'm going to lose it.
He's got that polished broadcaster voice?
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the FCC. I'm going to file a complaint against HBO.
You know what it is? You just got to slow down your cadence and you'll get on. Slow down
you got to use your
cadence,
reporter voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Seahawks, where are they? Are they here? The Seahawks look to add. I don't see them.
Why are you looking
I don't
over
know
there?
because I'm trying to yell loud
They
enough.
come out over here.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
that's their tent right there. That's why I'm not on it. I hope they didn't get that.
Oh, snap.
Dante Fowler joins us next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Eagles just made Jalen Carter the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. Per Adam Schefter, the two-time Pro Bowler will sign a 4-year, $152 million extension with $106 million fully guaranteed. Kraken analyst Eddie Olczyk announced he's stepping away from the team's broadcast booth. In a statement released by the team, Eddie said, quote, "It's time for me to go back home and be there for my family." Next and last story here, the Mariners take on the Dodgers tonight at 7:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 6 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We are kicking off the 2026 Seahawks season with the preseason home opener on August 15th, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch in person. That's a group of 4, Bump. All you need
That's
to
math.
do that's math. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. You can also download the app on the App Store. It's free wherever you get your apps, and we used to have it where there was a win tab. Now all you have to do is open it, and bam, you can enter. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 3rd. We're going to be joined in a little bit by Dante Fowler, newest Seahawk, and someone added to this defense to try to add a bit of a boost. Bump, take us back. I've asked you this before, but I'm going to revisit it. This team, I don't want to say moved on from Boye Mafe, but allowed Boye Mafe to walk in free agency. He signs a massive deal with the Bengals, gets the bag, get your money, Boye. But that also leaves a guy off your roster who was tied for the lead in sacks last year. Now, granted, no player had more than 7. It's part of what made this team special is kind of everyone was eating. But you're taking one of those guys away. So what does Dante Fowler bring you?
One, he's a veteran. right? There's nothing like having the snaps that he has had in this league with 10 years in the game. And there's not too many things that he hasn't seen, right? He knows the proper angles. He knows the proper technique. He understands tendencies. So there's less teaching when it comes to how to play the game when it comes to Dante Fowler. You got to teach him the defense and what you expect and responsibilities and all that. But you get a guy who's been around the block, man, and who can still play, too. It's not like I'm watching the film.
10.5 sacks year before last.
Yeah. I didn't watch the film and think, oh, he's washed. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I kind of had the same feeling when I watched D-Law's film. D-Law's film was a bit more impressive, but you saw a guy that was still moving like he can play in this league.
Are they different players, kind of?
Yeah. D-Law's more the violent type of player. I think Fowler can be violent, but that's not his baseline. It's more technique and responsibility being where you're supposed to be. D-Law does the same things, but just at a more violent level.
So do they need to find sack totals coming from elsewhere, or can Dante Fowler bring you that? Because Boye I had it in front of me. I think he had 6 or 7.
6, yeah. What up, baby? Fowler had 10.5 last year. Then before that, he had 11.5 with the Rams in 09. I don't expect him to come in and have double digits. We spoke to D-Law yesterday, and D-Law was saying how it's a committee down there. He's going to get 6, he'll get 7, he'll get 5. And they were still amongst, the top 8, I think, or 5 when it comes to sacks?
Pressures, they were 3rd. In sacks, they were 9.
Yeah, so it's I think this is a more of a by committee situation, but you also have the personnel that allows for someone to shine. Like, I could see Big Cat getting another 11 like he did a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's committee, but anyone can shine. And you listen to Byron Murphy talk about all he did this all season was work on pass rush. Like, he wants to get after the quarterback. So this is a motivated group.
So let me reintroduce it as a different question. Last year, this was the best defensive line in football. In fact, you know that they were the best in terms of DVOA, in terms of a number of stats, and then finally, near season's end, with like 3 weeks remaining, they were the best scoring defense in football.
Yeah.
So they surpassed the Texans there, right? So they're number one. End of the year, they're number one in almost everything. And then not in like total sacks. I think by the end of the year, that might have been Denver. I can't totally remember. But they had as many as the Rams, and they had the 3rd most pressures. We all know that. If they didn't necessarily lose anything outside of like a rotational guy, why aren't they considered the best defensive line entering the season? Are they? Should they be?
I think they were before Myles Garrett went over there. You know, I think adding him to Turner, to Puna, to Fisk, I mean, that's just a really good group over there. I think stat-wise, you can look at them and have an argument for it and say, yeah, this is still one of the top 1 to 3 defensive lines in the game. But no, it's Myles Garrett shifts everything. Like, he didn't go to some Rudy Poo team where he just went for the money and we'll see what happens. He went to a team that already had talent over there. He's the one that shifts everything, but I think they can go blow for blow with these guys.
I mean, look, if there is something to be said about the Rams, it's that they didn't add, now, before anyone says I'm a hater, this is a point Mike's made and I agreed with him. They didn't add Myles Garrett in addition to Jared Verse, who was a nightmare for this team last year. They had to take away one of those really important young pieces.
Yeah. So
now, I'd rather have Myles Garrett. But.
Yeah, it's not as dramatic as it would be if Verse was there, for sure.
Yeah.
You lose something, but you gain more. You took like 1 step back and 2 steps forward. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at the Myles Garrett edition. But whenever you can add someone who had 20-plus sacks the year before, I don't care what team you play on, that D-line is going to take a big jump.
Yeah, someone says Stacey hates this answer right now. I don't, not at all. I mean,
I think
that, like, you know, that basically, like, there's not some definitive answer about them being better than the Rams or whatever. No, I mean, I think that it's just complicated because what I like about it, actually, is that what made Seattle's defense so great last year is a little more complex than just the names that are on it.
Yeah, it's the scheme. It's the way the players are used. It's personnel. I mean, no disrespect, I don't know who the defensive coordinator is for the Rams. Like, I don't know. But we know exactly who the defensive coordinator is for these guys over here, and we know where he comes from. We know his history all across the league because of what he's been able to do schematically with these guys. And once someone tells me the name, I probably will know the name of the D coordinator over there for the Rams. But Mike has had a high profile before he became the head coach for the Seahawks because of what he's able to do with those guys.
I'm eager to see what Dante Fowler looks like with this team. And maybe rather than just looking at like, oh, Dante Fowler, he's going to add this entirely new element. It's about where can Mike McDonald's defense continue to evolve. I want to know, you know what I want to know? I want to know the things, not that I would be able to understand it, that Julian Love was talking about when he interviewed with us weeks ago. This was during mini camp. And he was like, yeah, there was stuff in like week 6 or 7 last year that Mike McDonald was like, oh, I can't wait to work this in next year. That like even before they got midway through the season, he wanted to adapt and change and add things.
I mean, that's what great coaches and coordinators do, is you're never complacent. You never say, okay, I have the answer for everything. You might have an answer for everything, but you want the perfect answer. You know, you ever do math when you're a kid and you do the equations, you go through all your steps, and your teacher comes over there and she goes, yeah, that's right, but not all the way right. Like you're missing something. I think that's the way that Mike McDonald looks at his football team, especially his defense. Like, yeah, I have an answer for the equation, but I want the absolute definite, no doubt about it type of answer, and you'll never get that. But he'll always strive for that, so that's why this defense will be on point.
Do you think it's being overlooked a little bit in terms of those national conversations? Because we tend to look at, like, well, where's the All-Pro being added? It's hard not to, right? Yeah. Jimmy's and Joe's. How do you not look at that when you're trying to size up what a team's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's overlooked, but I think it's also becoming more of a conversation at the same time, too. I think what you do with what you have can be impressive. But if you have a high-profile team like the Rams, that's a different type of pressure. Like people are expecting the Rams to be dominant offensively
to win a Super
and
Bowl.
Defensively,
Yeah.
right? No doubt about it. With this team, even though you have the same coaches coming back, people are still questioning. And I think it's fair, but I also think that does something to the team and to the coaches.
From the 425, are the Seahawks deeper than the Rams? Because that might be a better conversation and a big reason why a team wins championships. I'm actually going to get back to, let me pull it up here, a cut that I didn't play earlier from Bill Simmons. So this is going to be 13, Matt. It's Bill Simmons on the Mina Kimes Show.
I think the Rams have a way greater, like I always look at this stuff by bet your life on it, right? Like don't bet your life on it. That's stupid. But it's like, all right, let's say I had to bet my life. I'm betting my life on the Rams with Stafford, who they got this miracle season from last year, right? Where he was like, this guy's got a bad back. He's got a bad knee. Is he going to make it? Well, he was awesome. Devontae Adams, who I think is 33. And it's a top-heavy team where they do the Myles Garrett trade, right? They have like 6 awesome guys. But when we pencil this stuff in, 2 gets hurt. Now I have 4 awesome guys. I think Seattle can withstand anything. So I think they're the best team.
Do they have the depth to withstand anything? Get into that and Dante Fowler next.
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit Bucky's.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long. I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, as a reminder, it's the Dugout All Mariners from 1 to 2, so we need your questions for What I Need to Know coming your way in about 30 minutes. Get those in, 866-979-3776. Any question, text it now. Right now, let's take a look around the NFL. And Bump, we are starting here in Seattle. It's officially official. JSN is among a handful of players to make the initial Madden 99 club for the 2026 season. This came out a week or two ago, though only as a report. It was just a rumor that he was in the 99 club, but he officially is.
As he should, man.
Deserving.
He's one of the best in the game, the best receiver in the game last year. can do anything you want. Catch the deep ball, short, underneath. He'll block for you. He's complete. So, yeah, give him his flowers. At least they got this one right? They jacked up his trophy, but they got this one right.
Also in the 99 club, the Rams got two of them, Myles Garrett and Matthew Stafford. Josh Allen, Trey McBride, Jamar Chase. Is there anyone not deserving? I mean, these are all amazing players.
Those are all it right there. I'm surprised Matthew got 99. I thought just because of his age, I'd give him a 98 or something like that.
They were, you're good, but you were born in the 80s, so we're going to
go ahead and
knock
those are
it
all
down.
the 99s in the league right there?
99. Myles Garrett, Josh Allen, Trey McBride, JSN, Matthew Stafford, Jamar Chase.
All good. I'm good with that list. What did Bijan get? You know Bijan? You know what he got?
I don't know what he got.
He better be close. He better be close.
You love Bijan Robinson,
I do, man.
Is he your favorite running back in the league right now?
Other than anyone who puts on a Seahawk uniform, yes.
But, like, in terms of you were building your team, and they were like, Bump, you're a new OC. Who do you want as running back? You can have anyone.
I'm starting with Bijan.
Bijan Robinson?
All day.
What about Bijan versus peak Derrick Henry?
Oh, man. I can do more with Bijan in my offense.
Why?
The way I run my offense, because I'm going to leak him out the backfield, let him receive the football. D. Henry is a great back, Hall of Famer. But for my style of offense, I'm going Bijan.
Bijan Robinson over. Is there any, like, running back at his peak that you would take?
Oh, Barry Sanders.
Okay, well, I guess that one answers
Marshall
that one.
Faulk.
Okay. So it turns out there's a lot. Next story. In addition to not making progress with Baker Mayfield on a new deal, longtime Buccaneer Vita Vea has requested a trade. Bump, I should have told you this earlier. You already did get a couple questions from people asking. So I'm going to ask you about Vita Vea potentially coming to Seattle. But first, I'm going to start with this. Cut 17. Mike Garafolo shared what he knows right now about Vita Vea's trade request.
We've had trade requests before from players that have been trying to get contract extensions done with the teams that they're currently on, unable to do so, and then in the end, getting one to remain with the team. So this doesn't necessarily mean that Vita Vea is not going to be part of the Buccaneers. What it does mean is that he is serious, and he looks at Alshon Jeffrey's stats, or not Alshon Jeffrey, Jeffrey Simmons, excuse me, 24 and 25, 2024 and 2025. 109 pressures, 26 of those when facing a double team, 17 sacks for Simmons. Vea in 24 and 25, similar numbers, 104 pressures, just 5 fewer pressures, and 29 of those when facing a double team and 11 sacks. So the production is there.
Bump, the Seahawks have over $20 million in cap space. How do you think about Vita Vea trade? Acquiring him, giving him that contract.
I think it's going to be a bit too expensive. I think that you have your guys here already. You work with them. You leave Riley some room to grow. I'd look at it, but I'm not taking it too seriously.
Okay. I mean, I get why people are asking. Obviously, a local guy, everyone loves him. Won a Super Bowl, one of the best defensive linemen in the league.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, you heard it in the cut. There's also on Twitter that would prefer to go to the Raiders or an LA team. Please don't. Just whatever you do, don't go to the Rams.
Please.
Please don't.
I beg you.
Frankly, maybe there's not enough room. You know what I mean? There's got to be a certain point where what the Rams are doing is just gaudy.
Well, here's the thing. Like, where's the money coming from? That's always a question with the Rams. Like, where is this money coming
Money
from?
laundering. Money laundering. Jamal Adams has a new home. The former Seahawk is signing with the Vikings. What are your expectations for the Vikings? Because I'll tell you this. That podcast that I played earlier, it was Bill Simmons on the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, and they talked about the Rams versus the Seahawks at number 1. So as part of that conversation, they went through, and Mina would just say, like, this team or this team, and kind of rank all the way down to the 32nd place team. Bill Simmons, not super high on the Vikings, said, like, I don't really get why people think they're going to be so good this year.
Because they've been good the last couple of years. You got Brian Flores over there, defensive guru doing his thing. They send a lot of pressure. I think that's how you make up for some deficiencies defensively, is you put pressure on the quarterback in a simulated way. So, yeah, they get the benefit of the doubt from me because the last couple of years they've been decent.
I think it's also, I haven't seen the Vikings with Sam Darnold. Yes, they won 14 games, but you could kind of identify, like, here were their other issues. For instance, they had some injuries on the interior of their offensive line, and you saw the play dwindle there. Like, interior OL was an issue for the Vikings.
Yeah.
But because quarterback for certainly, last year was such a prominent thing, I think people thought, well, everything else is pretty fine. that like if it's such an obvious problem that maybe they don't have a ton of other really clear holes.
I want to say the Vikings did get better this offseason on the offensive line. I think they addressed a spot or two, but no, the focus is going to be on the quarterback.
Understandably, it was their worst spot last year.
Yeah,
you have maybe the best wide receiver, or certainly one of them in football. A great defensive coordinator with a defense that gets to the quarterback a ton. Yeah, I can see the argument.
By the way, Bijan is a 95 on Madden.
95.
Yeah.
Do you know if he's the highest rated running back?
Nah, Jonathan Taylor's in front of him at 96.
Do you think? Oh, that one little point.
Christian McCaffrey, 96.
Would you rather have Christian McCaffrey peak or Bijan Robinson?
McCaffrey peak.
Okay.
McCaffrey peak.
Jonathan Taylor.
Bijan.
Yeah. Why Bijan over Jonathan Taylor? Jonathan Taylor nearly.
Jonathan Taylor is a downhill back, runs hard. Bijan just does a little more explosive, make guys miss. Jonathan doesn't have the wiggle that Bijan has.
Jalen Carter isn't going anywhere. The Eagles have signed their all-pro defensive tackle to a record-setting extension. Bump, what would you do with $160 million? That's the deal Carter's signing. 4-year deal worth up to $160, $106 million in guarantees. It makes him the highest-paid defensive tackle in NFL history.
We'll go buy a couple islands.
A couple, not just one. You can't just get one island. You know what I mean?
You got to get two little ones right next to each other, and then build a bridge in between
I'm big
the two.
on buying in bulk anyways, and I think that you do that with everything. And if I'm a millionaire, I'm doing that with islands.
Going to the Costco Islands.
Yeah, because you just never know. You might get bored of one island or the location. Maybe it goes underwater. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Are islands always there? I don't know. I feel like they're a little more fleeting than continents. But that's just me. All right. I have one more here. Sticking with the NFC. I'm going to go to the NFC North. Packers beat writer Matt Schneidman told the Pat McAfee Show that Micah Parsons will probably miss at least the first month and a half of the season. Dang. He's coming back from that torn ACL. Now, this isn't like confirmation that that's what's happening. It's just someone who's well-connected, anticipating that Micah's still going to miss some time. Over-under on the Packers is 9.5 wins this year. What are you taking? Over-under?
Man. You know, I gassed him up last year. I thought that Jordan Love was going to be a guy. And he shows glimpses of it. They lost a receiver, too. Didn't Dobbs leave? Dobbs is with the Patriots, I want to say. I think he's with the Patriots. No, I give him under. They're probably the second toughest division in football.
Yeah, I think that the Lions are going to be better than a lot of people think, and the Lions have one of the easiest schedules. I think people just gave up on the Lions. Like, the Lions had back-to-back years, 3 years, where we were like, oh, my God, they figured it out. They've got some concerning injuries still that people are coming back from. One of your players that you drafted in the first round isn't with you anymore because he's could be going to prison, but... so that's going to cost you, but I just think people are maybe sleeping on him a little.
Yeah, they're slept on, just like we slept on Jared Goff. I'll never do that again.
I'll do it again. I'll do it just like if I have to choose someone to disrespect, I feel like he would get it and understand it.
He
seems like a nice guy who would be like, I understand. Kyle Shanahan remains away from the 49ers as he recovers from injuries sustained in a car accident 2 weeks ago. Rarely are you waiting for timelines with coaches, but you are in this case. Cut 18, here's John Lynch saying there's no timetable for his return.
Kyle is doing good. He's got some bumps and bruises. He did suffer a concussion in the accident, has some lingering effects from that concussion. You know, we're kind of treating this. We don't have a protocol for staff members when it comes to concussions, but we do with players, and it's become very helpful. So Kyle basically is going to be like in the protocol, and we're going to let the condition, the doctors dictate how he comes back, when he comes back. He's been in the building, so we've seen him. He's, you know, it's kind of like we do with our players, a phased back approach. You know, number one for Kyle and the Shanahan family is getting him back right. He's a tremendous head coach, but this is bigger than that. This is about his well-being.
And thank goodness he's okay and able to return. Sounds like it was a very scary accident.
Said he was on that phone. They said he was on that phone.
Don't look at the phone.
On that phone, man. Be careful. That's this is a different type of concussion protocol because he did not take a baseline test to start the season. So, like, what are you going off of when it comes to Kyle? You giving him the old school concussion test back in my day?
I didn't think about that.
And remember, yellow, blue, and strawberries. See you in 3 days.
Well, what if coaches get hit on the sideline in their head? You got to do some kind of baseline test.
I bet you this is going to be revolutionary.
Wow.
They're going to change the way they test coaches for concussions.
So I have a take that I'm actually going to go to Curtis on with this, but my first take is really about concussions, and this is in part stemming from the discourse around Julio, the discourse that was around D. Eskridge last year, that concussions, I would just as a PSA, are traumatic brain injuries, and some people come back from them at very different times. There are guys who I've covered that had a concussion and then they played, they missed one game, and then there are guys that missed the rest of the season, and I just think it's so, to this day, such a misunderstood injury that's very unique to the person. And that's just my PSA about concussions. Curtis, though, you were almost not really defending anyone, but saying you felt like the anger about the lack of coverage over Shanahan was a little overblown.
Yeah, I mean, the guy got hurt in a car accident. Ultimately, it's a health issue. I don't know why there's this need to be well, was he doing anything illegal while driving? And by all accounts, the only thing that he was maybe doing was looking at his phone at the time of the accident, which who among us hasn't looked at their phone? And I believe, as was reported, the other driver was more at fault in this accident. I just feel like there's kind of a bloodthirst in a lot of reporting on this, where it's we want to catch Kyle Shanahan doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to be able to find what it is you're looking for.
You guys know what my theory is, too, and I know we're veering away from NFL headlines a little bit, but just, while we're waiting on Dante, one of my things, too, is that people get really self-righteous and angry about everything. And so people are just angry that they didn't know about this 10 days ago. And I'm well, I mean, no one was there. The reporters weren't, you know what I mean? It's not shocking that this flew under the radar. It's not like he died, and then reporters are just now telling you.
And I think there's a bit of envy in there, because when famous people get involved in anything, they're always looking to blame them.
Yeah.
Because they're famous and they have all these resources and access and stuff. So I think it's a little mixed emotions. There's a lot going on when someone in the public eye gets into any type of incident.
Absolutely agree. Okay, now I'm moving on to our next story. I just had to spend a little bit of time there because there were a couple talking points I wanted to get to. Quarterback conversation. A couple quarterbacks coming off season-ending injuries have gotten clean bills of health. Cut 19, Patrick Mahomes is back practicing with the Chiefs. He's not closing the book on playing a little in the preseason.
I think we'll just see when we get there. I'm a competitor, so game day I'm going to want to be out there. But I understand the process of getting myself ready to play in the regular season is more important. But we will see. I mean, the coaches and docs will kind of make that decision for me, but I'll prepare myself like I'm going to play. And then if I'm just doing a very hard warm-up, I will take that as serious as playing in the preseason game. And so it's just so it's a couple weeks away, but it feels like a long ways away. I'm going to go with the next step of just kind of going out there with the rookies this week.
If he was medically cleared and you were Andy Reid, would you let him play?
Preseason?
Preseason.
Man, put your bucket hat on, man. You put a towel around your neck, take your jersey off. Actually, wear jeans out here, too. I don't want you to even think about touching that football field.
That's exactly what I would look. I'd be like, what? What are you trying to do, make the roster? What are you talking about?
No,
Get
you're
out
good.
of here.
I trust you can read a defense.
Now, what would you do for our next candidate here, Bump? Meanwhile, in Indy, Daniel Jones told the Pat McAfee Show in Cut 20 that he's a full participant at Colts camp right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think, plan is to be back in 11-on-11 full team drills tomorrow or Wednesday when we start up practice. So be out there with the guys, excited to get back rolling, but feeling good and rehab's been good to this point. Still some work to do as we get ready for week 1, but feeling really good with where I am.
You're in 11-on-11 on Wednesday, so we're talking day 1 of training camp. We are full go.
Oh, yeah.
Now, would you let, if he were medically cleared, Daniel Jones participate in the preseason?
I'll pat him on the butt and say, get your butt out there, dog.
He said, get that bucket hat off.
Go ahead. What you doing with that bucket hat? Why got a towel around your neck? Why got jeans on? Get out there
those jorts?
And compete.
What are you wearing?
You heard of Anthony Richardson? Have you heard of Riley Leonard? They coming for your job, brother.
God, what's going to become of Anthony Richardson?
I don't know. He might be one of the greatest athletes to never really, make it the way that people thought he would. I thought that was one of the biggest stretches in a long time. Drafting him as high as he did.
One of the biggest
Only playing
reaches.
a few games. 50-something% completion rate. I get the athleticism, but
It's crazy.
the best quarterback to ever do it is not a great athlete. Tom Brady.
Who's the best athlete quarterback to ever do it?
Michael Vick.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, God, is there someone else?
Cam.
Aaron Rodgers.
Athlete?
Good runner. Good runner.
I get you got to get your delegation in this, so I'm gonna
Let us-
accept that.
let us
I'm
in.
gonna accept. You
Let
guys
us-
said Josh Allen.
Let us have this. I'm not going to say Jake
You
Locker.
You said
Josh
Aaron
Allen.
Rodgers. Josh Allen. What are you doing?
I take it back. I take it back. My delegation is represented. I'd like to submit for approval from the
Got
committee.
Tim Tebow. He's a
Tim
great
Tebow?
athlete.
No.
Great athlete.
But
Not a
great
good
quarterback?
Not a good quarterback.
Come on now. No, I want to take that back. I was really trying to. I was like, "Well, play action." No, I'd like to submit Josh Allen.
Yes.
I'd like to swap those
Please
two.
do.
Please.
I beg you to do it.
Thank you so much. Congratulations due for Justin Herbert. He and his pop star girlfriend Madison Beer announced their engagement.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I couldn't wait for your announcement. I was
That's
like, any
what's up.
thoughts?
I'm
or-
just jealous. I should have been 6'5" and a quarterback. Man, I'd be with J-Lo right now. Actually, I'd be divorcing her right now because she seems a little high maintenance. But them quarterbacks, man, they live a great life, those quarterbacks.
Really do. Someone said Steve Young.
Yeah, Steve Young can run. He's in the mix. He ain't no
Could
Josh
run.
Allen. Steve Young, he can run. Yeah.
Crazy
Good
for
athlete.
the era, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he was. They were probably losing their mind watching Steve run like
They were
that.
like,
How's
"This
he
man's a
doing
witch."
this? How is he doing this?
What do you think is the first athlete where people lost their minds and they were like, no, he might not
Jim
be human?
Brown. Jim Brown.
You think people were like, he might not be, like, we need to get the FBI in here.
And he was playing lacrosse too.
Curtis, who do you think is the first athlete where people were like, we've never seen this before, we don't know what to do with this?
I mean, Babe Ruth with 700-plus home runs when guys were hitting like 5 back then.
What do you think Babe Ruth would be hitting today?
I mean, he'd probably hit like 30-plus home runs. He's not hitting 60.
I think he's a 245 hitter.
He's batting 200.
No.
He ain't never seen Matt Brash's
Like-
movement on that slider.
No, because I don't think. No.
They were not throwing it like that back then.
I'm not saying he's going to beat Shohei Ohtani, but I'm saying that I think
Fastballs
that,
were like 85 back then.
But he did so much. I think 30 home runs is fair. I think 30 home runs in today's league.
I give him 20.
Babe Ruth?
Listen, the pitchers are so dominant in today's game. The movement is crazy.
Next story. Clint Kubiak told Las Vegas reporters today in Cut 21 who his team's starting quarterback will be to start training camp.
We as coaches, we're going to see who's the best guard is, okay, best quarterback across the board. There's battles everywhere on the roster. So it's important for me to be fair to the players is to put the best player out there. When we go out to practice tomorrow, Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback. He's the guy, and he's going to get a ton of reps. And he deserves them because he's played really good football. But I want Fernando and I want Aiden to push him.
As a reminder, I do have a question for you about this. As a reminder, what I need to know is coming your way. Get your questions in, 866-979-3776. It's Tuesday, so we're going all Mariners from 1 to 2. Shannon Drayer joining us to get things started. At 1, we're going to ask her kind of what went wrong with the starters in this series against the Rangers, but also obviously look ahead to the Dodgers with what kind of opportunities are here. So Shannon's going to join us. Gary Hill and Alex Mayer also set to join us in the 1 p.m. hour. Back to Vegas. Bump, why do teams do this thing where they like pretend to make it a competition between quarterbacks when you've got the number 1 overall pick? Like just say Fernando's our guy.
Well, I think in his situation, that's how you have to play it. I think that there's a real possibility where he starts off as the number 2 quarterback, but then eventually give it a game or two and he's back at the starting spot. I don't think this one is fake. I think this is real. I think their job is to bring Fernando along slowly. If you don't have to throw him in there right now. Is it
because as an organization, they're not like ready to compete?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to go out there and get smashed. So go ahead and let the old guy get beat up for a little bit and let the young guy learn how to be a pro. They don't need – he's not – I don't know if you know this, Stacey. Raiders aren't going to the Super Bowl this year.
What?
Okay, they're not going to win the division.
That's a horrible attitude to have.
So why throw him out there and get beat up like that?
Yeah. Do you think it helps development to put him out there and let him get as much time as possible? Or does it hurt it to put out a quarterback when you don't have an amazing offensive line and an amazing everything?
You're going to You ever seen like a dog that's been beaten before?
That's
right?
really
It's sad, right? And then you go to touch them and they flinch.
Are you just telling me the story of David Carr?
No, that will be Fernando. If you throw him out there and that O-line is allowing him to get smacked, he's going to be flinching. He's not going to trust it. You take your time with Fernando, man.
Someone said Bo.
As what? Best athlete?
Bo Jackson, as being athletes where people were like, because think of like
Yeah,
if you
Bo
saw
Jackson
someone,
for sure.
if Lamar Jackson threw for 4,000 yards and rushed for another 1,000, it would be crazy. But we've just seen so much as sports fans now that we'd be like, he could, the following year, play 2 games, we'd be like, what a bum. Like, we're just not wowed by things anymore. But Bo Jackson, a great answer for people
sure.
being like, what?
Bo, Dion.
It's a witch doctor.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, get those questions in for what I need to know. Any question, text it now. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. 866-979-3776. There's an eagle flying perilously close. What I need to know coming your way next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years, guaranteed? Well, thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through August 24th, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber, coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into video only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish CyberKnife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish CyberKnife?
Well, it was this familiar sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish CyberKnife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife Prostate.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Someone said, I would think we were talking about athletes who, I just don't think we can be shocked by anything anymore. Like, we can see almost anything cool athletically happen, and I just think we'll go, awesome. But so I was asking which players, when they were out, maybe because they were so athletic before their time, like probably caused people to be like, I can't believe this is real. Someone submitted Magic Johnson as a possible answer there.
6'8", 6'9", point guard, doing what he does. I can see that.
You know?
Yeah.
Because just think of what that would have been like to see
Rowdy
Telez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who you were thinking of. Yeah. Okay. 866, not an answer to the question.
No. A sidebar.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. What's the difference between a good player who's a Seahawk kind of guy and a good player who's not a Seahawk kind of guy? That's a good question.
Player, Seahawk kind of guy. All the cliches. Shows up early, leaves late, respects his teammates, works hard, always prepared. What 99% of coaches want. Gets along with his teammates, is about the community. Not a Seahawk kind of guy. I'm a guy who just blows off like community engagements. You're not great with kids. You're not welcoming. Here, it feels like every player on this roster is welcoming.
What I need to know. God, this sounds gross, but it's a good question from Joe. Everyone loves chicken nuggets. Why aren't there beef nuggets?
Beef is
beef jerky.
Yeah.
But it's a fair question. Like, why don't we have breaded beef?
Try it. Let me know how it goes.
It doesn't even sound good, though.
It's too tough.
It doesn't sound good.
You would have to have, like, ground beef inside of, because you got to be able to bite through it smoothly.
Yeah. I mean, we have meatballs. Meatballs are chicken nuggets.
You know what? And I've seen on Instagram where they've breaded meatballs before, and it looks delicious.
You have to bread meatballs.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's a
in
binding
meatballs, to bind it, you have to have bread.
Yeah, but I mean like that thick outer
layer.
On the
like,
outside.
Yeah, you mean like it's fried, like it's like actually like a corn dog.
Uh-huh.
But no, I think that's what I've settled on is meatballs as nuggets.
All right. I'm on a mission now. I got all the ingredients to bread some ground beef.
Some meat, yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Let me know how it ends up going, because it's a good question and there's a sciencey answer here, and I just don't know it. Because chicken nuggets are phenomenal. Tenders, fried chicken tenders.
Tenders. I don't mess with the McDonald's nuggets no more, man.
Just because who knows what's in them?
Because I watch too many documentaries.
Yeah,
messing me up.
You know what I never want to know? I never want to know what makes up the processed crab salad filling in sushi rolls. I never want to know what that is. No one tell me.
What's that fake crab called?
Imitation crab.
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't think it's crab.
No,
I'll tell you that. I don't think it's crab.
I want to know what it is.
Let's see. 866-979-3776. Someone said, y'all ever, steak fingers or steak bites? Chicken fried steak. I've never had any of those things. Chicken fried steak, Brenna's had that.
Steak. I think I've had that.
What I need to know, have you seen The Odyssey yet? And this is a complicated question. What Seattle sports personalities would exemplify the main characters on The Odyssey in your opinion? You don't have to answer that part of it.
Yes, I have seen The Odyssey. 3 hours long.
That's too long for a movie.
Oh, my goodness. And it's too deep, man. You know we can't answer that question in 30 seconds. Main character, though? Out of the group. Main character.
So like a complicated hero?
I would say probably Wyman.
Probably me. Oh, Wyman.
Wyman. Yeah, probably Wyman.
You didn't think he could catch a squirrel?
No, but I'm thinking of Wyman in his prime leading an army.
Sure,
yeah, for sure.
I think he could lead an army. I also think that he could catch that squirrel, but you know what the thing is? I don't think he'd catch it. I think he'd step on it.
I think the squirrel would snatch his ankles and he'd fall on it. Bow.
And then we all know what would happen to that squirrel. I just think it could happen. God, I had another question here that was one of mine. Oh, it was when you said that the Odyssey is 3 hours. I think that's egregious. Is there a length where no matter how good the movie is, you're like, this is too long? Like, don't make a movie this long. It's
stupid. You pass
stupid.
2 hours, it's a wrap.
I think you can go over 2 hours. There's so many good movies that go just over 2 hours.
I'm just giving you my opinion, you know. 2
I'd
hours.
say 2.5 hours.
but you're wrong. 3 hours? The Odyssey's 3 hours?
Yo, it was 3 hours plus another half hour of dang previews. It was ridiculous.
Did it have an intermission?
No. Right? That deserves an intermission. It was ridiculous.
God. Someone said, Bump, it's funny, I've been listening to you guys every day. I feel like I'm on a game show every time you say something and say, what's that? And I know the answer. They just yell imitation crab. Like, what's that thing called where? And then it's just someone yelling at the radio.
Nice.
They also said, you don't want to know what it's made out of.
Appreciate your participation.
Thank you so much for not telling us.
I don't eat imitation anything.
Oh, yeah, because you don't even like seafood at all. I love a cheap California roll.
Really?
Yeah, you go to a QFC sushi counter.
What about cheap shrimp?
No, that's
disgusting.
That's I don't want that.
Yeah.
But isn't shrimp kind of cheap?
It is, but there's I feel
Shrimpies?
like there's like another form of shrimp that's not the best.
Like an imitation shrimp?
Probably.
My one complaint about the Mariners postseason last year was that they didn't have a shrimp tower.
You and your dang shrimp tower.
Because, Salk had covered the Red Sox World Series in the early 2000s, and he said, yeah, the further you get, the crazier the food gets. Pretty soon you're in the ALCS, hosting an ALCS game or a World Series game, and they've got, seafood stuff. And so I was like, well, ALCS, where's the shrimp tower? It was never there. It was never there.
Never there.
I was really upset about it.
Maybe next time.
I'm writing a letter to John Stanton, and I'll just be like, look, not only do you need to get back to the playoffs because fans deserve it, you need to get back to the playoffs because I deserve my scrimpies.
You deserve the scrimp.
866-979-3776. It's just people telling us different ways to cook steak. And someone is telling us what imitation crab is when we specifically said not to. I'm clicking out of that one. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Someone said TV shows are a 2-hour movie isn't enough.
2 hours not enough? I think, all right, 2.5
to 3 hours.
They only watch epics?
Let's talk about this. A comedy. A comedy should only be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. An action or a drama, I can see it going over 2 hours.
I just think
comedies, I feel like you just run out.
Do you think movies could even do intermissions anymore?
You think people would be fed up with it?
I swear to God, I went to a movie that had an intermission.
Had a what intermission? What movie? What, Titanic?
No, it was Lord of the Rings, the third one. I swear there was an intermission in my memory.
I feel like nowadays, though, they just make a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, because you can get more money.
Yeah, you can make more money that way.
So they're like, let's just add an hour of stuff.
Yeah.
And split this into 2 90-minute movies, 2-hour movies or whatever. I gotta get to the bottom of that.
I gotta get to the bottom of this.
Can we make imitation shrimp called scrimp a thing?
Scrimp. I mean, black folks, we call shrimp scrimp anyway.
I know that's right.
So you would confuse my delegation. Like, what's
That's
going on?
what I call it.
That's what you call it?
My scrimpy towel.
All right. Closer, getting closer.
All right. As a reminder, Bump and I are all Mariners for the final hour. It's the dugout. So we are going to have some stuff on training camp tomorrow, interviews certainly for the rest of the week. But we're going all Mariners because they have a chance to actually come out of this road trip with a winning record.
Really?
They do.
Really?
If they sweep.
In theory.
Mathematically. So we're going to talk about how that happens. Shannon Drayer is joining us for the dugout next.
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat will go a long way. Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Your bathroom deserves a refresh. Call it a mid-season upgrade. Dave Wyman here for Fast Home Services, and right now, take advantage of 15% off a tub or shower refresh. Want to upgrade further? Bidet seats install for just $3.99. From leaks to full upgrades, it's the same plumbing expertise you've trusted since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
My goal is what's best for the customer. You know, I truly believe that. I won't ever deviate from that.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers. Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues. My.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a very long time, so I know injuries happen. But when Emma tore her ACL on the mat, it was bad.
I typically have a pretty high pain tolerance. I gave birth 6 times with no pain meds at all, but this felt like a 10 or 20, really.
She was evaluated by an orthopedic surgeon.
He also told me that surgery was the only thing that I could do.
Instead, she came to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
I can do everything normally. I train, I spar.
Pain level at a 0?
Yes.
So you recommend it?
Yes, actually, I asked him if it was okay for me to take copies of his pamphlet, so as soon as somebody gets injured, I can just hand them a copy.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped that finale of a 4-game series to the Rangers yesterday in a 7-3 loss. They've got 3 more on the road before coming home, so there's a chance to get a winning road trip. Unfortunately, it'll require a sweep of the Dodgers. Anything's possible, right? Shohei Ohtani suffered a recent setback in his return to the rotation, so the Mariners won't be facing him on the mound. Luis Castillo, Emerson Hancock, and Bryce Miller will be starters for Seattle over the next 3 days. As a heads up, each of these 3 games will start at 7:10 p.m. with a 6 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is The Dugout, taking you inside your Seattle Mariners.
Swing and a miss, and he got him with a slider.
Presented by Top Fitness.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Swinging a shot over the bag at first, fair ball. The Mariners win it. Here comes Leo Rivas to score. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off single.
Time to grab a seat and talk Mariners baseball in The Dugout.
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joining us now to kick off the dugout. Shannon, how's it going?
It's going, guys.
Yeah, and it continues with 3 in LA against the Dodgers. I want to start by looking back at that series against the Rangers. A tough one for Seattle. Managed to avoid a sweep, but I don't know that anyone feels great. Shannon, we knew the offense hasn't been good this year. I was not shocked to see it fall flat, certainly many times throughout the series. I was surprised to see what the pitching looked like, though, because the story really of that series against the Rangers was that your starters and your bullpen, for that matter, just gave up too much, which I was surprised by. What happened to the rotation on the road, and is there any real concern here?
You know, you're going to have ups and downs with individuals, and we've seen it with this group in particular as they are so tight-knit, and we have seen, you know, times when they've gone through that rotation, 1, even 2 times, and they've all just handed the ball to the other and just not given up anything. Sometimes that goes the other way, and I think that's what we saw this time. It was, if you're taking a look at everybody seems like, okay, they're healthy, you know, they should be out there. We know Brian Wu has been dealing with road woes, and I kind of wonder a little bit if it's just more woes in general. He hasn't played a ton of home games in the last month and a half, and I mean, maybe he is just going through a struggle of some sort right now, and maybe it isn't as tied to home and road, but I'm sure that's in his head a little bit, and that can kind of play into things. But I think that, on the large part, when you look at where they were at, they're all coming out of the All-Star break. They've had a lot of disruption in their routines this year with the piggyback, with the sixth man, with changes being made even within plans that had already been made along those lines a couple of times. And then you throw in an All-Star break and you reslot it. And, you talk about George Kirby going into not this last start, but the start before that, making one start in 20 days. And so to me, I think more than anything, you take a look at that. You take a look at they go into Texas. They know what the stakes are. And they know that it is on them to hold things down because the offense is struggling and has been struggling all year long. I think that all of that probably contributed to just a lot on their backs. They didn't have any room for error. The errors that they made, the pitches that they left over the plate were hit by a team that is both good against the fastball and not too bad against the secondaries either. And, it was just a bad recipe for them when they got off to the bad start at the beginning, when they didn't have, when Brian Wu struggled mightily, when he had a mighty struggle from George Kirby, too. It is something that we don't see often from them. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just, taking a look at where they are right now. And I think those two things, mostly just a lot of just not being in a regular schedule, a big part of that being the All-Star game, and also the enormity of the situation and the pressure that they've been pitching under, knowing that there hasn't been a lot of run support for the majority of the year. I think perhaps some of that was seen in Texas.
Shannon, and now they take on the L.A. Dodgers. I've played on teams that have been struggling before, and sometimes playing against a team that, no one really expects you to beat could be a good thing for this squad. How do you think they're approaching this series against the Dodgers?
I think they're probably approaching it like any other, but I do think that we have seen with this team on multiple occasions, and it's always interesting to see sometimes, and we talked about this on the roundtable on the pregame show yesterday, sometimes this team seems to get better against better competition or better pitching in particular, and they are going to see very good pitching in this series. They're going to see two lefties in this series, so that is something that, of course, the Mariners have been and we have all been very wary of because they have struggled against them. But sometimes when you are in that situation and you have somebody that you're going up that is at the top of the game, you don't have many avenues that you can take with them. There are only certain things that you can do that you're going to get the hit unless they are having a tough day on that particular day. And sometimes I think that makes it easier to stick to a plan, perhaps. And sometimes they're more disciplined with that plan in that situation. And I think that that is something that we have seen against some of the better pitchers in the league. And I think perhaps we saw that against DeGrom a couple of days ago. And they basically did everything right in that. They had good at-bats. They got him out after 5. And then they went from there. I think a lot of it, I think there is probably a little bit of an increased focus on their plan right now and what they're doing. And I think that they're probably, as you've had a change, and as Jerry DiPoto has talked about, sometimes you need to make change happen, and they are asking for change with it. What are the things that they are being asked of? Will those plans change a little bit? It's too soon to probably see anything solid in that regard, but is there a different voice? Is there a different something that they are giving those hitters right now? Is that something that pays off? I think that is something to look for in the next couple of days. But again, when you're in a situation, when you're up against competition that is at the top, sometimes you have to cut some of those options off, and sometimes you need to remain more stubborn to your plan because that's the best chance and clearly the best chance that you have.
Shannon, you know this team well, the players, the coaches. You have not only been around them all year long, but for years. And so sometimes there are things that you're going to be able to pick up on, subtle things with body language or kind of reading between the lines that maybe us on the outside aren't going to be able to see as much. So my next question probably depends on a little more of that, and it's okay if there's nothing there right now. A while ago, actually our last conversation with you, we asked whether or not it seemed as though we were like, it sounds like Cal has maybe had a more recent realization that he doesn't have to do too much. And you were like, yes, I do think that might shockingly be more recent. So I wanted to kind of ask, big picture for this club, it feels as though when they entered the season, they thought, we're going to win the division. Why would they think otherwise, right? Like, we are a great team. We're going to win the division. Do you sense any kind of changing realization about where they are, a slap of reality, a kind of an anxiety, a fear, a sense of urgency? Is there any kind of intangible feeling that you sense being around this club that they are realizing they are not quite who they thought they were and need to kick it into high gear?
Well, I don't think they are who they thought they are. I think there are two very different things in this, and that is the team that they were on paper coming into the season and the team that they've turned out to be in reality. And I think it is sometimes hard to square the two up, particularly in a 162-game season. They are not going to lose belief in who they are and what they've done very easily. You know, that is part of them, and they've done that. That has happened. And so I think that there was a lot of that we saw early on, that we saw in spring training. And they also have that belief, you know, in themselves as individuals and in their teammates. And that's, you know, an important thing to have. You want to believe in the guys around you. And it's supposed to be one of the pluses that you have when you keep a group together as much as they have been together, or you're able to grow them together as this group has been grown together. And I do think that sometimes in a long baseball season, you have to really do some checks kind of in both directions, where you're not getting too carried away or overreacting to something that could be totally different the next week, because you have a next week and a week after that and a week after that, and so on and so on. And perhaps also, I think that does make it harder sometimes to sense that, okay, there is a problem, or maybe a change does need to be made. You never want to be always chasing change. You never want to, be making changes too quickly. You have to give things a chance as individuals and as a team to play out in this game. And I think those things all can mask sometimes where you're at. And I do think, to your point and your question there, I think we heard a little bit of that from George Kirby in his post-game comments yesterday. It really, there was disappointment that they weren't the team that went in and did, what they were hoping to do against the other team, and grabbing a stronger hold on first place and an inside track to the division title. Perhaps that was a little bit more eye-opening. And what Cal was saying a couple of weeks ago was that we need to let go of the individual things and play as a team and realize that we are good as a team, which indicates he hasn't always seen that this year. So, that I think was a little bit eye-opening too. But I do think you are to the point of the season where it's impossible not to realize, like, hey, okay, there are 2 months remaining. The divide is not that much. We are a good team. We can do things, but perhaps you can't take that for granted, or you don't have the luxury of the time that you have to watch that play out at this time, because it is only 2 months. And, 2.5 games can turn into 3.5 games, can turn into 4.5 games pretty darn quickly. And tiebreakers start to become a reality as well. So I do think that you are seeing and hearing, or more hearing that a little bit here and there right now. And it doesn't mean that it's not in their full force.
She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer, kind enough to join us after, again, a tough road trip that isn't quite done yet. A chance here to get something going against the Dodgers. Not an easy task, Shannon. Certainly not easy, but with the way this team is sometimes, it would not surprise me if we have you on to ask all these questions about how we're worried, and then they sweep maybe the best team in baseball. So very, very on brand for a team that can surprise us. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, guys.
Tough series against the Dodgers starts tonight, but is there an opportunity for some of these Mariners starters to turn this thing around? That's next.
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewart here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank, member FDIC.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only: to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. Says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, cause now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
All right, so we have some stuff to look at with the trade deadline and also looking ahead to probables in LA, plus the latest on Shohei Ohtani. Spoiler alert, you will not see him on the mound. He's continued to have some setbacks in his return to pitching. You will obviously see him in the lineup. So let's start with the latest from Jeff Passan on the trade deadline. On Cut 22, this was not Passan with Brock and Selk earlier. This is Passan on the latest episode of his podcast, Sources Tell, talking about the likelihood that Emerson Hancock is involved in a trade. Take a listen.
The Mariners would like to use a starting pitcher to go out and get a bat, preferably a right-handed hitting bat, not a whole lot of outfield help. Maybe they go for an infielder there. This also could be Luis Castillo, but he's owed $22.75 million for next season. And with more control for Emerson Hancock, who's under control through the 2030 season, and the cheap price of his salary until then, it makes a lot more sense that the Mariners would deal Hancock. I do expect him to go.
It does make more sense that they would deal him. They can get more in return for him. You also, though, put yourself at a bit of a risk. If this offense bump was, I don't know, God, even a fraction as good as it was last year, you could go, well, look, you can deal with some subpar pitching because you have the offense to make up for it. Unfortunately, you don't. I think you have no choice but to add offense, but Bump, I'm a little nervous about taking pitching away from a team with the top 5 ERA and the third fewest runs scored per game.
Yeah, but they put themselves in this position. Like, what else are you going to do that will give you something in return to help out exactly what you need which is scoring runs, getting bodies on base. It's a roll of the dice, but I think there's something that they have to do. Even though they are, second in the division right now, they're not playing some good baseball. I still leave room for – Josh has actually been playing pretty good the last couple of weeks, for everyone to kind of catch up and get their groove going. Hopefully Donovan comes back and provides that. But how else do you get better? I think this is the only way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't feel great about not having Emerson Hancock in the lineup. I also think that there's no way this iteration gets to and wins a World Series.
No.
There's just not. And I know that to a lot of people, Luis Castillo feels like the better option. You're just not getting in return what you need for an offense that needs so much help. Now, if you're looking to add a bat, well, can you find an impact bat? One of the things that I kept seeing is that the Mariners are far from the only team searching for a right-handed bat, and it may not be the single best market. Like if you were a team looking to acquire really good starting pitching, Tarek Skubal is probably going to be gone in Detroit. He doesn't want to be. He's talked about it openly, wanting to stay with Detroit, but probably on the move there.
Wow.
But like just to add a right-handed bat that's actually going to be really, really good, I don't know how many options there are out there for people. It's a weird trade market.
Yeah, not too many. But I think with the possibility of dealing Hancock, it does make it a bit more attractive than other buyers, I guess. So, yeah, man, explore all your options.
All right. You are going to get another look at Hancock before the trade deadline. He is one of the 3 starters that are going to go for you in this upcoming series against the Dodgers. You've got Luis Castillo tonight for a 7:10 p.m. first pitch, then Emerson Hancock, then Bryce Miller. Do you think you might change your mind based on how these two, especially Castillo and Emerson, perform over the next 2 games?
No. I think it's set. No one's going to want Castillo because of the age, the number, the control. You could come out against the Dodgers and look great. I think that you said we'll see Emerson against the Dodgers, right? Mm-hmm. That'd be great. I hope he shuts them out and looks beautiful and puts the Mariners in the front runner, the driver's seat, I should say, when it comes to getting the bat out there. But no, I'm set. No, I'm pretty much set. That needs to happen for this team to get better.
Question from the 425. We keep saying we need to add an offense, add a bat to go through our current lineup. But who are you replacing in the lineup? Position by position, who are you actually taking out to replace with a bat and from where? Which is a really great question especially because you're currently using your DH to rotate in Julio so much as you bring him back from the concussion IL with a little bit of caution. I think gut prior to this was that you were looking at right field, but what are you going to do? Take Dom Canzone out? Mm-hmm. So if you keep Dom as your DH, then you can rotate someone who's still one of your outfielders, right? Because you're not taking Rosarena out of your lineup, or depending on what's happening third. Now that's a really awkward conversation because it means that, is Donovan performing when he comes back?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. JP is a veteran on your team and a well-respected leader on your team. What happens there? I think that there's a pool of people that would probably want to see Emerson sent down for a little while with JP moved back over to short, but then you still have to figure out what's happening there at third in the outfield. So there are some things you can do, but none of it's especially easy, especially with the injuries you've had and given the fact that Dom is one of your best bats right now, and he'd typically be in one of those spots.
I mean, that was the same situation we were going to be in if Donovan had stayed healthy, right? It was the shuffling and moving guys around. Me personally, defensively, I'm not moving Emerson anywhere. That is his spot. Colt.
Yeah.
I'm not moving him.
His offense doesn't concern you a little bit?
It does a bit, but, I mean, the last couple of games, him and Cole Young are the ones that got on base to allow who drove him in last time. Was it Randy hit a bomb? I think
and then
Dom.
Julio was the other for Colt.
Yeah.
Young.
I think that he's so deep in the game right now. Let's just work through his woes, my opinion, because defensively I think he's a lot better than JP.
Yeah. I think the big thing is you don't want to take Dom out.
Yeah.
And you still want to keep the DH flexibility for whatever Julio's dealing with coming off of a concussion, which they've clearly leaned into. It's a great question. I think a lot of people have pointed to, in terms of trade partners, a couple bats from Chicago. They would presumably be willing to deal. One of the things about trying to trade with a team that's also trying to get to the playoffs is that they aren't going to give up anything that's going to help them get to the playoffs. And you're going to do the same. It's a sticky position they put themselves in. I know Jerry DiPoto got a lot of flack for saying the best guys we can acquire are the ones we already have, but you defended him earlier for good reason. I was right with you, by the way, but it was saying, like, there's no one that can help you more than Cal not looking horrible. No. More than Naylor hitting better. More than Julio being healthy.
Naylor's getting there. He's getting there.
He's up in that average. Yeah. He had a double the other day. Mm-hmm. But you just need more. You need more. Yeah. And I don't know where you get it. A question for you. This was something I saw from, it just came out, so I don't have the audio of it. It literally just posted to my own timeline. But it was Ken Rosenthal on with Foul Territory. And I want to know what both you and you, Curtis, think about it. He said, look, it's a given that the Mariners want to win, but Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander do need to be realistic and at some point kind of ask yourself, are we good enough? Like, we have this great farm system. What are we actually willing to give up to compete in a year where we've looked pretty awful from start to now? From the beginning of the season to now, there's not been a stretch when we've looked like one of the best teams in baseball, outside of an 8-game win streak that was kind of it. I think that when you're the only team to not make it to a World Series, you have no choice but to add. But what do you guys think?
I think here's the thing is, as this team is right now, the way they're performing, this is not a World Series team. But what you don't want to do is fall further and further and further behind. I think that it's your responsibility to keep up with what's going on. We're not asking for a rental. It's not like we're looking for a rental to end the year and then that person will move on. You're looking for a piece that'll be here for a couple of years, a piece that you have control over. That was my main thing, is that now that you haven't caught up completely in the race, but you're at least in the race now. Whereas a few years ago, they weren't even a thought when it comes to being in the race. You don't want to fall back to that. Mm-hmm. You hold on as long as you can. You try to get better. You wait for some of your young guys to mature in the farm system, and then you make your run. So I think you still do what you can to improve.
Mo from Puyallup says we could have Ohtani and still have holes. He's right, but you don't need to get through the NL West. You need to get through the AL West. Curtis, what do you think about that take from Ken Rosenthal, that like at some point you might need to take a hard look at yourself and decide whether or not you're even good enough to add?
Yeah, I think that's very much within reason, because let's say you go over on this Dodgers trip and you've got the Twins who are fighting like mad to stay in the AL wildcard race. You've got the Tigers who are doing everything they can to keep Tarek Skubal around. Like, you're not going to have any time to let up over the next month. And, I mean, looking at what the Mariners have been able to do over the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like, it has not gone well for them at all anywhere. So, yeah, you're absolutely going to have to figure it out. And if you're not worth, or if they're not showing that they're worth, major investments, then it's going to be really tough to, look out at the trade market and say, yeah, we're going to sell the farm for this guy. Because then you're going to be in a spot like, the Angels were a couple of years ago, or the Astros have been.
Sure, and I guess I'm not in on, like, selling the farm. Like, there are guys where I'm like, no, that would absolutely not be worth it. And you're going to have to overpay for some things in a tough trade deadline. I'm just saying, like, I am so not in on the idea that it's just not your year. You simply cannot. You still have over 42% odds to make the playoffs, which feels pathetic given that you were so favored heading into the season. The AL West is still bad. The American League is shaky. It's a tough wild card race. But, like, I just think that this team hasn't bought itself the luxury and privilege of putting off anything.
No. You're in a constant grind to stay as close to relevant as possible, in my opinion. I think the way the team is playing determines how aggressive you are at the trade deadline.
Sure, like if they all of a sudden, like, tricked off 7 wins.
Yeah, for sure. But I think your goal at every opportunity is to try to improve the team. The last opportunity is August 3rd.
Yeah. Someone said, I think what's changed for me is I don't know that I'd get a rental now and go all in.
No.
But that doesn't mean I wouldn't make a move. That's a fair take. There's still kind of like a middle ground.
I'm not touching a rental right now.
You are listening to The Dugout. Coming up at 1:45, Mariners stats and information's Alex Mayer's going to join us, taking a bit of a look at Brendan Donovan, how his rehab assignment has gone, what we can expect from him down the stretch, which is one of my biggest questions, is like, what's even fair to expect from Brendan Donovan? He hasn't played since May with this club, which is crazy. So that's what we're talking about with Alex, talking about what you can kind of course correct here in the next 3 games with Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. He joins us next.
Jeff Passan, every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
The problem that I'm seeing right now, Brock, is the absolute mediocrity of the American League has a chance to completely upend our expectations of what a trade deadline looks like. That because the standings are so flat in the American League, this could be a molasses slow deadline.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years, guaranteed? Well, thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through August 24th, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber, coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Daryl's knee problems started years ago.
The initial injury happened back in my high school days. It was more of a nerve damage that was done in the knee.
And eventually it led to surgery.
They had the knee replacement done on the right knee. The orthopedic surgeon I worked with obviously was ready to do the work on the left knee, and I just didn't feel good about it.
Instead of another replacement, he chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's your pain now?
On a bad day, 1 or 2.
So you went from an 8 to a 1 or a 2?
It's been great. I can't say the same for the other knee. We're still having challenges.
And when people ask you about surgery?
What I always tell them is that you should first talk to Dr. Wagner. You should look at stem cell as an option before you do the surgery. Because once you do the surgery, the stem cell isn't going to help you. And if he says he can help you, believe him.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Joined now by Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Gary, how's it going?
I'm fine. How are you, Bump and Stacy? Good to see you.
Good to see you. We're excited for the Mariners to get a chance to get a couple wins here. Tough series, though. I sure wish there was another opportunity, but instead they're going to have to try to get a winning road trip by taking 3 from the Dodgers. I wanted to start by just looking at the Rangers quickly. It felt uncharacteristic. I know that Wu has had struggles on the road, but overall the pitching has been a strength of this team, and that the story in 3 of these games was pitching struggles felt somewhat uncharacteristic for them. What did you see here?
Yeah, that was the story to me, because that's the backbone of the Mariners, their rotation. And their rotation has been great for the season. You look at, they've given the most innings of any rotation in baseball. They've been top 5 in ERA of all rotations in baseball. You put those 2 things together, and they've been great, especially in the last month and change. They've been very consistent. And so that was the most disappointing and frustrating part of the series for me. And not only the way it happened, because you look at it, the rotation gave up 20 runs or 19 runs in 20 innings, along those lines, basically a run an inning. And that's a tough way to go about it, especially when you look at how it happened. The Mariners were down in all those games early. You look up, they were down 1 or 2-0 or 3-0, some 5-0 in a ball game. And that's really tough to win consistently on the road. And especially with a struggling offense, they just can't afford to get down in games like that. And it's just one turn through the rotation, and they're not going to be perfect every time. But the frustrating part was the timing. And then it happened in 3 of the 4 starts. I thought Logan was good, and the Mariners won that game. But the 3 other starts were not good. And so hopefully they can get back to what they've been doing. And you're right about the Wu thing. That's been so weird this year. The splits are so extreme between home and road. It's really hard to figure. And for me, the difference has been the volume of hits between the home and road. But it's still, given that it's Brian Wu and what we've seen the last couple of years, it's just really hard to figure out what's gone on, really the past handful of starts on the road especially.
Gary, I have a theory. My theory is the arms they're worn out, man. The stress that they pitch under, it feels like most of the time, I feel like can get to them. I think that's why Wu doesn't do great on the road. That's why we saw Kirby perform the way he does. No one is in the head of these guys, right? This is just an athlete looking at another athlete and saying, okay, the stress that they play under has to do something with their performance. Would you take that into account?
I don't know, because I feel like overall the rotation's been really good this year outside of this last turn. And so, and like the offense has been bad since the beginning of June. This has been the case. And if you go back to previous years, there's been times where the offense hasn't been good and they've been fine. I don't think they necessarily think about the offense when they go out and pitch, because on a given day they could get no runs, they could get 7 runs. They just don't know. I don't think they let that. I mean, they've all been in the majors for a long time, right? They've been on this team for a long time. I don't think it's something that bothers them. So I don't think that has affected them. I think it was mostly bad timing that they had 3 bad starts in these 4 games. I mean, I don't think rest is an issue. They've been in a 6-man rotation, and so they've gotten extra rest. I just think they had 3 bad starts, and it was really unfortunate timing, because now, that there were such big swing games. You look at it now, it could have been a half game back, and instead it's 2.5 back of Texas. Mm-hmm. And now they're staring at 3 against the Dodgers. Now the Rangers have Tampa Bay, so that's not going to be an easy 3-game series. But Stacey, to your point, it's really tough to make up games when you're playing the Dodgers on the road, the team with the best record in baseball, the team that has, by numbers, the best rotation in baseball and the best offense in baseball. And they win a ton at home. And the Mariners, weirdly, they have not played well in LA. I know it's random because it's a 3-game sample set every other year. So take it for what it's worth, but they generally haven't played well in LA. So they'll have to turn a few things around to try and get a series win. Now, on the bright side, they come home for a very long homestand, and they've played much better at home lately than on the road. So hopefully they can build something when they get back home.
I wanted to ask about kind of what you think is wrong with the offense, but because there's probably 30 answers, I thought that I would eliminate a couple for you. And so what I want to ask about is, what things do you see are wrong that are things that are correctable or fixable. So for instance, I might have someone texting in going, well, I don't like how they built the team. They should spend more. And it's like, well, you can't change that in a couple weeks. Like, you can't be a top 5 payroll tomorrow. So I wanted to take out the things that are just like big picture issues that are fair to have a debate about, but like not really something you can solve. So what are those things where they are subject to change, whether for better or worse, that you think are the problem with this offense right now?
I will bottom line the problem for the offense as I see it, and it is simply they don't slug enough. They're near the bottom in baseball in slug. And, you know, when an offense is bad, the conversation tends to go, oh, manufacture runs and bunt guys over and steal and those sorts of things.
Obviously.
And, small ball. And those are good things. Like, you score in other ways than slug. Like, there are games where you get 10 hits and 9 of them are singles and you win a game. That happens. And that's not a bad thing. So that's not what I'm saying. But in modern baseball, to score consistently and score enough to be a playoff team, to win a division, to make a postseason run, you have to slug. I think people would be surprised at 2 of the 3 top slugging teams in baseball. The Nationals are number 1. The Dodgers, that's not the surprise, number 2. And the Pirates are number 3. Do you want to guess the top 3 teams in runs scored? It's the Nationals, it's the Pirates, and the Dodgers. And you flip that around, the 3 teams at the bottom in slug, the Mariners, the Guardians, the Blue Jays. Do you want to guess the bottom 3 teams in runs scored? It's the Blue Jays, it's the Mariners, it's the Guardians. So for me, it comes back to slug. And there's a couple things going on different than last year. One is obvious. Cal, you know, at this time last year, what was he at? I don't know, 40 home runs, something like that. Like, that's from 10 to 40 or whatever it was. That's a big difference. And then Jorge Polanco. And I'm not saying re-signing Polanco would have made the difference, because that was a risky sign, as we've seen play out. But what I'm saying is that production hasn't been replaced. And so you look at it, and there's a difference between the slug last year and the slug this year. Now, to your point, can that get better in the last 2 months? Yes, because they have a team that's capable of slugging. They do have Cal Raleigh, and he can have a great last couple of months. And Dom Canzone can hit home runs. You know, they have Julio. You know, he can go wild for 2 months. We've seen that, right? We saw Julio do it in June, and it made a big difference with the offense. So, May. So, can that get better? Yes. And I think that has to get better, because for me, that's the thing. That's it. They have to slug. It's just too hard to try and put together 3 or 4 hits in an inning to scratch out a run or 2. And for me, as you watch the Texas series play out, that was the difference. In the game the Mariners won, they slugged. The Dom home run, the Arozarena home run, and the games the Rangers won, they slugged. They hammered the ball. And it's not just homers, it was doubles as well. It was extra base hits all over the place. So I think the Mariners are capable of that, which is the good news, but they have to do it here in the last 2 months.
Gary, what do you think the approach should be for this team at the trade deadline? And do you think that it can change within the next couple of series, change the way they look at this team and what needs to be done?
It's such a good question. I have zero feel for the trade deadline. And I'm not talking about a Mariners perspective. I'm talking about in baseball. I think it is going to be a wild ride here right up until the deadline, because I don't think many teams have made a decision one way or another at all. And I think there are a couple of clear sellers right now. I don't know how much they have to give. So it feels like there's more starting pitching than anything else. And as we know, that's probably not the Mariners' need. So I think they would like to add, and I think they would like to add what we've seen them do and been really good at is they've added pieces that have not only helped for a stretch run, but also moving forward. You know, think of Randy Arozarena and Luis Castillo, that sort of thing. So I would love to see moves like that, especially on the offensive end, especially if they could find a right-handed hitter. Now, those are very easy things to say as concepts, but who are we talking about specifically? I have no idea. And that's going to be, I think, the challenge here in the next few days. I just don't know. I don't know what teams are going to do. And maybe it's the kind of thing where everyone is kind of in it, so everyone just holds. I don't know how this is going to play out.
Yeah, it's a very unique deadline that I feel like the only thing I hear is definitely down to the wire. But what it looks like when we're at the wire and it's August 3rd, I don't know. That we don't know. Good stuff from Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Talk to you soon.
All right, coming up, a look into Brandon Donovan's rehab and what to expect in his return. From Mariners Stats and Information's Alex Mayer.
Just 6 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown, 7 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Heward here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Now by Alex Mayer of Mariners Stats and Information. Alex, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're okay. I think that keeping me afloat is that the Mariners aren't far out of trying to vie for the division, that this is a much tighter race than it's been in years past. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't disappointing to see them drop 3 of 4 to the Rangers. However, you thought that a good reminder would be to look at where they were last year. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, I guess I want to preface this by saying not excusing the play thus far by any means, not trying to cope, just wanting to point out July 28th, 2025, so 1 calendar year ago today, the Mariners were 3 games out of first place. Right now, they're 2.5 games. And granted, the recent series against the Rangers, like you said, Stace, didn't go the way, we planned for. But just to provide some perspective, everything's right there in front of the Mariners. I think they, if they play up to their standard, kind of like what Gary was telling you guys in the segment before me, they can make things happen. I mean, 107 games in, that means there's still 55 left. So it's right there in front of them for these Mariners.
Yeah, I'm keeping hope alive, Alex. I'm keeping it alive,
that,
man,
Bump.
because we've seen them make runs, and we've seen Julio go on crazy type of runs. You think he has another one in him?
I certainly hope so. And, the history, the data would tell us yes. I mean, the sample size isn't that small anymore. Julio's been around for 5 seasons now, so in his previous 4 seasons, his OPS by month, I'll start with March and April, 659, so well below league average. 798 in May, 694 in June, so he usually takes a little bit of a dip. But then wait for this, 850 in July, 926 in August, 915 in September, October. So going by, I'll get really nerdy with you, TOPS plus, so we know that OPS plus, a 100 OPS plus means league average. TOPS plus is a stat that Baseball Reference uses to measure how good a player is given a certain split. So the TOPS plus for Julio in August is 133, meaning he is 33% better than the league average hitter in the month of August. That's his best month of his career. 129, so 29% better in September and October. He's really good in the second half of the season. There's a reason we call him second half Julio. So hopefully he emerges this month and continues to have a good year.
Is there another person who could emerge? I've kind of just assumed that, look, this might just be the version of Cal we get, but, is Naylor showing encouraging signs? Is Randy having a career year? Where else could we see some slugging come from?
Yeah, I think the offensive highlights this year has been the consistency of Randy Arozarena. He might not be a top 2 or 3 hitter in the American League, but he's certainly hovering around that 10 spot and hasn't really gone through some of the peaks and valleys of the other Mariners hitters. Dom Canzone, his second year in a row, being really good. And then the emergence of Cole Young as a defensive player and in the batter's box also leads the major leagues with 107 games played. But, yeah, I think, when you go from 60 home runs to what Cal's done this season, you expect some sort of rebound down the stretch, so hopefully there. I think Nails has been really good lately. Hopefully some of his power starts to come back. He hasn't homered in a while, so would be nice to add to that home run total. And then, Colt Emerson kind of just doing what a lot of 20, 21-year-olds do in the big leagues. A lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows to his season. One of the few silver linings of the Ranger series was seeing Colt really make some hard contact and get on base a lot. So I think, we just keep, beating this drum, but the Mariners have all the pieces to make it happen. It's just a matter of if some of these guys return to their career norms.
Cole had a couple hits robbed, too. Not just in this series, but against the Reds.
Yeah, good call.
Hey, I was reminded by Stacy and Curtis that Donovan was playing some good ball before he got hurt. I had to go back and look at his numbers and see what he was doing. He was transferred to AAA Tacoma today. What's fair expectations when we see this guy? What should we expect?
Yeah, we'll be eager to hear the report from our general manager, Justin Hollander. He speaks to the media the first game of our homestand, so he'll talk on Friday, and I don't want to speak for him, but with Donnie going from Everett to Tacoma now, I would expect to see him hopefully soon. Yeah, but he was really good, Bump, in 25 games for the Mariners. He had a 141 OPS plus, 839 OPS. One of his last games with us before he went down with the injury, he had a double, triple, and single, just a home run shy of the cycle. So he's a great presence in that Mariners order. I think we all know what he can do. He won a Gold Glove his rookie year at the Cardinals. He made the All-Star game last year. So he's a really good player when he's on the field and can really help the lineup and play just about anywhere defensively.
No, I'd love to see this team add to the pen at the deadline. But one thing I'll say is if they can start making these closer games and slugging again and getting into it, I have such a growing confidence in Andres Munoz. What started as kind of a shaky start to the season has turned into an unbelievable stretch for him. I mean, he was able to show in just one Rangers game, right? I'm trying to think of just one of the four. But he's been phenomenal. What's been working?
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing the ball hard, but he really has all season. He's been throwing slightly harder lately, locating a lot better. He only has 4 walks over his last 13 games to go along with 21 strikeouts and no runs allowed. So Mooney's been awesome. I think the only thing with him, he's only appeared in 7 games in July, so obviously we'd like to see him more, which would mean we had more late leads, and I don't have to get into all that. You guys know how it goes. But he's been really good when he's been on the mound. In his last 13 games, Mariners are 12-1. He shuts it down at the end when we have a lead. We just got to see him pitch more.
Yeah, it's comforting to see Munoz kind of get back to doing what we love. Can you describe kind of just a young guy duo? I know Colt's been struggling a little bit in the batter's box, but I watched them play, and I'm really encouraged, man. What are your thoughts on the young duo now in the middle infield?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about as good as it comes around the league. But I think the thing with baseball, especially when these guys come up, 20, 21, 22, it's like if you're an NBA star at age 20, usually you're just a star, right? Like other than like maybe a guy like who gets injured in his first or second year, like once you're established, like we know you're going to be good. I think with baseball, it's just such a league of adjustments. There's so much data, it's nauseating at times, and I'm the stat guy, so it's a lot coming from me. But I just think it's such an adjustment sport. Like one team gets something on you in their scouting report, like, oh, he can't hit the high fastball. Well, then the other 28 teams who face you will also get that kind of stuff. And then it's up to a guy like Colt or Cole to adjust to how the league pitches to him. And the great ones or even the good ones figure out kind of how to adjust to that. But I just think baseball, it's what makes it so great. It's just such a league of adjustments and, not picking on the NBA or anything, but I feel like once you're established in the NBA and maybe to a lesser extent the NFL, you're kind of just going to be good. And baseball, it doesn't really work like that. A lot of ebbs and flows.
How have their relationships been like with the older players? Are there certain players taking each guy under their wing? Just take us behind the scenes there with those two.
Yeah, I think, J.P. Crawford is definitely someone they look up to. Just from what I've seen in the clubhouse, he's a guy they look up to. Josh Naylor, too. I think he's one of those kind of unspoken leaders. But the relationship between them is they're really close. They make me feel old. I'm only 31, so there's still some guys on the team, older than me. So I'm still a young guy, but those guys who are about a decade younger than me make me feel really old.
Yeah, we were looking at the Seahawks roster earlier today, and the oldest player is born in 91, which is older than you. But so you still have time. You have time to become an NFL kicker. We told Curtis that. Well, no, Curtis ran out of time because he was a month older than that player. So
who is that?
So he's washed. It was Jason Myers.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, so it's too late for Curtis to become an NFL kicker, but you've got some time, Alex. So
well, Vinatieri kicked till he was like 44, right? Some of those guys stick around forever.
And you know what? They always say it doesn't matter how late you start. They always say that about professional sports. I don't know if you guys
every time.
They constantly say that. He is Alex Mayer. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, guys.
This has been The Dugout. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Jeff Passan, every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
The problem that I'm seeing right now, Brock, is the absolute mediocrity of the American League has a chance to completely upend our expectations of what a trade deadline looks like. That because the standings are so flat in the American League, this could be a molasses slow deadline.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
All right, well, training camp is here. The team looks ready. They're in shape. It's clear the guys took the offseason seriously. And as they prepare to have all cylinders pumping on September 9th, can you make the changes in your life to be your best by that first game? Well, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can certainly help. And by help, I mean give you a proven plan to lose 30 to 40 pounds by the start of the season. And naturally, no pills, no injections, no side effects. People across Western Washington have lost a ton of weight and become a healthy and happy version of themselves with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Personally, I dropped 35 pounds in 8 weeks. That could be you before the end of the summer. And all it takes to start is a free 15-minute phone consultation. Find out if it's right for you. Schedule yours at eastsideweight-loss-clinic.com. Schedule it for when you're in the car, commuting to work, or just running errands, because the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Do what I did. Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic and go to eastsideweight-loss-clinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. Over 25 years ago, they saw a community that has each other's backs. Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've been writing for quite a while now, and I tell you, it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I ever need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced because they know how much those things mean to you. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Because every ride you take, your freedom could be on the line. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawks Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
When your equipment is down, every minute counts. Levitt Machinery has the parts, technicians, and expertise to get you back up and running fast. Because if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
50 legends. One unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by